is the wonderful Gasmasktribe podcast where we filter out that blood. I am your host,
That
and
bull.
along with another great host of this motherfucking show.
Oops. And guess what? I'm eating cornbread. I'm eating cornbread and chitlins in the big house.
Because niggas like we ain't with that master shit.
Whip what?
Master, this motherfucker.
I'm the one bringing all the secrets out, nigga.
This nigga said whips what? Ah!
I gotta call the bullshit card on that one because you know what I mean that goes back into what our whole show is about because the simple fact of PTSD and we got depression and shit. Niggas do wake up wanting to die. You know what I mean?
One, two, three, showtime.
Welcome everybody to the Gasmasktribe TV podcast where we filter out that bull. Yes, I am your host. Notice, big notice in the house. And then my other hosts are the other hosts. Big Notice and Angel. They will be joining soon, or they'll be in. We have a big show for them. I would like to say big ups to everybody out there. Hope everybody keeping themselves safe. Everybody is out there having fun. This summer heat is a thing, though. Like, talk to me real quick about the summer heat. Like, I can't even get past it right now. Like, I can't even go into my garage. It is hot out here in Vegas. As you know, I rep the Vegas. And it is hot. I know it's hot in California. It's hot over in the East Coast. Crazy thing, it was hot and raining the other day. Like we were out in Alabama or Atlanta the other day. Yesterday, excuse me. At that, it is crazy, 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 crazy. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining in, giving everybody love to this greatest show of the Gasmasktribe TV podcast. Yeah. We got to hear that old ass song, bro. I can't stand you. Hey, UKTH, don't make me bang you. Look, nah, I ain't gonna never bang you. Hey, big love. Okay, cool. I'm just saying, hey, this is what it is. And this is always what it's gonna be, my guy. You don't like it, you can put your cowboy boots on or whatever you got over there in Michigan, motherfucker, and kick rocks.
What y'all got going over there in Michigan anyway, man?
Yeah.
What's going on in Michigan?
What you really got going over there but bugs?
I mean, I'm not cracking jokes, UK. You know what I mean?
I'm cracking jokes. You cracking jokes. I'm cracking jokes. My guy. Hey, big love though, like to everybody that's out there. Like, you know what I mean? I'll put it like this. Hey, you're killing me, Smalls. There you go. UKTH. You're killing me, my guy. But it is though. We got a great show though today, huh?
Man, we got a great show, man. We got a guest coming in. She'll be here soon. I am actually queuing up some things right now. But the reason why I kind of want to speak on this was crazy. And about R. Kelly. But before we get into R. Kelly bullshit, people, thank y'all so much, man. It's the Gasmasktribe TV podcast where we filter out that bull. Dang. And you guys already know I'm Biz, but everybody know my band Dirty Harvey. Y'all can go check that out. The music, all that good stuff. We put on an album. I got 8 songs coming out, real crazy. I'm excited about that. But anyway, y'all already know Big Notice. You dig? And shout outs to UKTH, my ninja. You know what I mean? You always showing love. Also to Miss Hill, thank you. Op, no voicemail, Biz showed. I can't leave. I can't leave my people stranded, man. You know what I mean?
Okay, Dick Ryder.
Unless no, you're not. Unless I
okay. Look, Biz got his fans, and so do I. So I don't give a shit about none of what you talk about. Once you're ready to hop off the Biz swipe, you go ahead and swipe left or swipe right, because I got both of the options. And you go ahead and join the notice. You like, I didn't notice you.
Hey, just understand, UK. I mean, they always gonna be haters, my guy. So you know what I mean. I got your back, TK, UKTH. Yo, people, before we get into our topics of the night, obviously our weeks has been great. It's the middle of the week, hump day, Wawa Wednesday, where we like to literally take crazy things and just pull them out wildly, just the wildest things. You know what I mean? The craziest things. We got some crazy stories that's coming up. Before we get to these things and filter it out, and you guys, grab your bleezies, UKTH. I don't need you to be hitting in the fucking comment.
Be
Smoke
right
break,
back.
BRB, Ninja. Just take your smoke busy and come right blizzy. You know what I mean? So you can watch this TVZ. You get it?
Smoking your shack. Because I know you got a shack out there or an outhouse. I know you got an outhouse. You don't even use a toilet. You use an outhouse, huh? Ain't no bathroom in Michigan. It's an outhouse.
People, y'all already know the Gasmasktribe TV podcast. Fifth out that bull. We be right back. Bang.
Is it good, my guy? Is it
People, we like to welcome our guests, to our panel. This is her first time here. Her name is Miss Kat Hurston, and we like to put our guests in the middle. We be on the side. We like to put them in the middle. So people, you guys want to know how I met this Miss Lady, this wonderful lady. I met her. She, was moving with a company. They called me. They was like, hey, we want to do some business stuff. I was like, you know what? I like this. But then we ended up going into a conversation. She ended up finding out all the entertainment stuff I do, the podcast, all that great stuff. And I ended up finding out she, has books and hits red carpets, and what I mean, Big Notice was, he was going, how's she look, bro? How's she look? You know what I mean? So, Big Brody was going through looking at his stuff. He was sending to me like, bro, look, man, she got. I'm like, damn, I'm impressed. All right.
I'm big on looks. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, I have no marks on the show. I'm just saying. Hey, even though they good, I love them. I love all women, but I'm just saying. They been looking like Mark on this motherfucker.
Hello, everybody. Hi, how you doing?
So I'll be right back. So y'all be. He's stupid. People, please welcome Miss Hurston to our panel. Welcome to the tribe. This is gonna be a great podcast. Oh yeah, you got fans already. Look, UKTA said, "Oh, she fancy." Fancy. So, but how's things been for you? How's everything? How's the weekend?
Things are good. Things are good. Yeah. Last weekend, I went to the whole, what's the thing we were hosting? Oh God, what's the Black holiday? No, the Black holiday we had last Monday.
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. I did the whole
I don't
Juneteenth
be
thing. I was
celebrating that.
around as people of color. I loved it.
Right. But I don't be celebrating that. Like, I know what I mean? Like, unless I get invited to some shit, then I'm like, oh shit, this is Juneteenth event. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think we should celebrate everything that we can get off free for. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna come back to that, you know what I mean? Because I don't think we should always celebrate ideology or
Our freedom.
subliminal shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't give us anything progressive or financially, it just gives us a day to party. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I'll be looking at what could be, you know what I mean, feasible to the economics of our community.
Well, here's the thing about the Juneteenth. So, did you go? You
I
didn't
went
go?
to, I no, I had another event I went to on Juneteenth.
Okay,
It
so
was
here's
on,
the
that was
thing.
on Crenshaw, right? The one that was on Crenshaw.
Oh, on Saturday. I went Saturday too.
Okay,
The
okay.
reason why I went is because when we go to stuff like that, you guys, we're supporting Black businesses. All those vendors that were there were Black
Hmm.
owned businesses that need our dollars, right? So for
Right.
me, I was like, let me go out there, see what Black businesses are out there. Let me patronize the ones that look like they got their stuff together, right?
Hmm.
And let me be around beautiful Black people that are trying to help other Black people. So that's what it was about for me.
I think it's beautiful. You know what I mean? I got a
I
lot
do
of.
too. I'll be honest. I think it should be like a before and after Juneteenth event type of thing. Like you know what I mean? I'm just saying because there's people that have lives, different things of that nature, and may not be able to show up on those days that people want to show up. But it
Yeah.
should be like June, even though Juneteenth is that day, Pride Month was also a month. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, it was like fuck one day. You know what I mean? Like everybody like selling ice cream and salad, watermelon salads and shit for this one day. Like I get it because the day it signifies something where
Yeah.
slavery really ended, and I get that. But like at the same time, I feel like it should be celebrated for like a weekend or at least a week. That's just me.
Well,
They gave us February.
well, that brings us.
Just
That
saying.
brings me to our. Speaking of slavery, that brings me to our first, I would say trend topic of the day. You know what I mean?
Chill.
R. Kelly
Hmm.
sentenced to 30 years in prison for sex trafficking. Mm. It
Sit
goes
your
on.
ass down. Sit your ass down, my guy. That's what I say. Sit down.
It, it goes on to say. Oh, let me put myself in the middle. Bam. It goes on to say R. Kelly could go to prison for 30 years for sex trafficking, sexual exploitation of a child, kidnapping, and other sex related crimes. God damn, dude. What the fuck? In September, a jury found Kelly guilty on all 9 charges, 1 count of racketeering, and 8 counts of violating the Mann Act. Wow. God damn, damn shit.
I
All right, damn.
man. But okay.
Damn. The singer the singer whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly was first accused of having sex with underage anyway in the 90s, but escaped punishment for almost 30 years.
Hmm. That's why they give him 30 because he escaped it for 30.
Let me ask the question since no one asked the question. Do you still listen to his music,
I
or
mean,
would you still listen to his music?
here's my thing. We have to separate the act from the artist, right? Because there's no person on this earth that's without sin, right?
Right.
So anybody can have a great talent, but then have things that they need to work on and change on. So I'm not gonna totally say, oh yes, Step in the Name of Love can't be, played because this guy has a crappy life. I don't I wouldn't do that.
I'm with you, but as a man, sometimes I feel conflicted. I just
You
like
turn on the song and you hear "Step in the Name of Love" and you just go, "Oh, I can't listen to that. I'm gonna turn it
no,
off."
no, 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 no.
Or you
It's
start
certain,
text.
no, it's certain things that he says. It's like, he goes, "Give me that toot toot." That girl, give me that beep beep.
That's a different
Like,
song.
he goes like, like, there's certain things. Like, nigga, what are you doing? First of all, like, what? R. Kelly, why are you hunking at the girls? Okay, unless they're underage. You know, this is just it
Did
is
you
so
say honking? Did you say honking after girls?
honking. That's what it is. He's honking at the girls. Like, give me that toot toot. Like, give me that beep beep.
Beep, beep.
Hey,
I love
nigga,
that song.
we are not in fucking high school, my God. Nigga, you are 35, 40 years old when you make that song. Shut up. And there's a lot of different references. Like, there is. So, like, yeah, trust me, a big R. Kelly fan. Fuck, I used to put that on for the ladies all the time. Red Light Special. That was my shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You could like that. Hey, when you want to
I
give
don't
me
see nothing wrong.
Yeah. See, some of his songs I can't do, like the 12 play and all that. Like, some of his stuff is nasty. I don't listen to that, period. I don't care who the artist is.
Why
Mhm.
not? Is it
Just
too
'cause
close? Is
it's
it
too
too
nasty. Like, I try to keep it sexy, clean R&B stuff. I don't want
Some
anything
people
that's
are
making me
nasty.
think about,
I love it. I'm a freak nasty
perversion.
person. Look, 12 play my 12 play. My thing about it is like nigga, I never understood 12 play. I never understood that. Like, so, I'm just saying. I never understood. Like, why are you 12 playing? Like, and now I'm like, oh, nigga, you 12, you playing on the 12-year-olds. I get it. Whatever.
Well, how
But
about I feel sorry for all the women who went through that. I think there should be some kind of monetary something given to the people that he did this to, especially when you hear that he gave them different STDs and stuff. Like, that's just not the business, right? So
you
that,
can't
I mean,
give them
all the
monetary,
millions that he's getting, that should be donated to victims.
but he can't give them monetary anything. That nigga is negative $2 million in the hole right now.
Hmm.
Net worth. His net worth is $2 million
He may
negative.
come out with a song next month.
Huh?
I wouldn't be shocked. He may come out with a song next month. I wouldn't be shocked. 2 million is not a lot of
In
money.
jail? In jail?
He
Who's
could.
buying it? Who's buying that album?
So I tell you, so I'll tell you this. Okay.
You guys would buy that. If he had 12 play part 2, you guys would be bumping that
It'll be
in your car.
it'll be 30-year part 2. 30-year play. 30 play.
Yeah. It sucks that a good musician got to go down like that, and
Yeah.
he has that type of mind state to have that type of gruesome way to get his rocks off. But you know what I mean. I think it's crazy. You know what I mean. Do I think he should have gotten? I think the question is, should he have gotten more?
Time?
Yeah.
30 years is he'd be
I mean, he's
85.
what?
Yeah,
How
I'm
old
like,
is he? 60?
What is
I
he gonna
mean,
do?
I don't know. I think that
How old is he? Like
he didn't
60?
kill anybody.
Right.
There's people who have murdered people who've gotten out faster than that. So I don't think he's going to do a full 30 years. We all know that. He'll probably do 15,
R.
if he
Kelly is
doesn't do anything stupid in there.
Okay. I'm gonna hit to these right quick. Um, he's UKTH is stupid.
hey, I wish I had a middle finger button. I swear to God, I would UKTH my middle finger button.
He said the glove fit this time with with R.
He
Kelly.
did.
Responded to R. Kelly. He said I haven't listened to his shit in years. Miller McKenzie laughs. Also, he said he should. I think I think it should have. I mean, if you go give the book to him, why not? Like, just why
But
not? Like, why not make an? I'm not saying make him an example, but why not just like throw the book at these cats because they're letting people out who has like got these type of charges. You can put up your phone and you can see who are like an app. And there's an app that would tell you all the molesters on your block and type shit. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy. That's
Which is
crazy.
crazy, right? And a lot of people. Trust me, a guy having kids. Period. Yes, I'm looking. Oh, what? Okay, but it literally makes you paranoid, like of the neighbors, and like you know what I
Mhm.
mean. You really
Problem
can't
is
like.
you can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. I don't care what upscale neighborhood you've been, which I've been in a
I was
lot.
gonna say they're everywhere. They're
Yeah,
everywhere. And the people you need to be careful with is the people in your family.
I think
Those are
what's
the
the first
people that are closest to your kids.
right and right, no, right, you're right. And I think what should be a huge punishment, like they should make examples out these cats and like, look, all right, cool, we're gonna lock you up like for life type shit. I mean, I don't think these cats should get like small terms of years and shit like that. Because I think once you put them back on the,
but
huh?
this is the problem.
You guys don't believe in rehabilitation?
No,
Oh,
I do. I do in a sense, but I do in a sense. But this is the
I,
problem, though. To be
I don't.
honest with you, it's because there are. It's political. Politicians get
They're doing it.
in this realm. Politicians don't
Hey,
get charged for murder, and if they
hey,
do, they get thrown under the jail. But they get charged for pedophilia, and they get charged for like being with the underage or this and that. So they make it
has
lenient. It will come a time where it will be under the jail. It will where you murder somebody, or it'll be equivalent to the fact. So
hey,
Mhm.
has a hoe ever turned into a housewife?
Mhm.
All right. So the rehabilitation part.
Wait,
You know
did
what I
you
mean?
just say can you turn a hoe into a housewife?
he said,
When
"Did
No,
a
people
I
hoe
said
turn,
He said, "Did a hoe ever turn into a housewife?" Yes, she
right.
has. The house didn't run.
yes.
Yeah, the house didn't run well. Look, they got housewives of Atlanta, of LA, of this, of
Right, but
that.
those aren't what we're talking. Like those aren't like that's not what I'm talking about. Like, have you ever seen a prostitute turn into a housewife?
Yes. There's a whole bunch of wealthy men who are married to them right now.
A
Facts.
prostitutes?
Yes.
Yes.
There were prostitutes on streets on Figueroa. There were prostitutes and
Well,
they
they
paid.
don't prostitutes don't hang out on streets nowadays. They're in
No,
high-end clubs.
Cat,
those
he
are
hasn't seen
escorts.
Pretty Woman. He
Yeah,
hasn't
I
seen.
was gonna say, did you not see Pretty Woman? Like that's a prostitute. That's the
No, that's an
2022
escort though.
prostitutes.
That's
And
more.
the
But
movie
I
with
look at that. Wait,
With
wait,
Tom
wait,
Cruise.
wait, wait. I look at that more of an escort. Like you got
No,
women
that's a
like
prostitute.
Same
They just
shit.
upscaled the name to escort.
Yeah, it's the
What
same
you're
thing.
talking about are crackheads on the street. That's what you're thinking is a prostitute. The
I'm
crackhead women
thinking.
that are like scratching and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, can I, suck your stuff?"
No,
That's
no,
a
that's a
prostitute
crack.
you're thinking
No,
about.
no, no, no. That's a crackhead prostitute. I'm not talking about a crackhead prostitute. I'm talking about the ones that's being pimped by. I don't know what I'm saying, but like good pimps or whatever. You know what I mean? That are clean or whatever. Like I've never seen none of them turn into housewives. You know what I mean?
Oh, honey. What's that girl's name that was messing with all the celebrities? They and the one actor married her, and she had
Oh,
Kareem. She was a prostitute, and she had slept with
you're
almost
talking about the one
20.
that wrote the book, the one that
Yes.
uh,
Melissa Ford.
that was all the
No.
celebrities. Oh, I forget her name.
Corinne something, Stefan or Corinne something like
Yeah,
that. And she
yeah.
ended up
Hold on,
marrying an actor.
right now.
Wasn't was it was it it wasn't Superhead?
Yes,
Yes,
that's who it
yeah.
was.
There you go.
Yeah,
She's a
yeah. Then she
prostitute.
got man, that dude. Oh my
She's a
god.
prostitute.
No,
She
she
Prostitute.
was a
slept with
video
She's
vixen. No, wait,
everybody.
wait, 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 wait. She was a video vixen that turned to just getting paid to get. She was
Okay,
getting.
no.
She was like, you know what, y'all want to fucking pay me? Okay, we just turned into that.
Hey,
Like,
That's what
Look,
prostitutes
Biz, I'm
do.
not fucking with
but
you. You called Beyonce a hood rat one show, and then you defending Superhead as a
I'm not
Superhead, yeah, that's what
defending
they
her.
called her.
No, I'm not defending her. What I'm just saying is that's what she started as. She started out as a video vixen
oh,
that
she
turned
did
into
start as
that.
that.
That's what I'm
Shoot,
saying. So
no
that
way, she
she
still
turned
was.
into that. You know how many video vixens that turned into that? Like, you know
Hey,
what I mean?
look,
So
it
Exactly.
was in her blood. It was in her repertoire. She wanted to do
I'm
it.
just saying I'm talking about, what I mean? I was talking about the ones that are straight,
She didn't want.
like
And look, she didn't do anything she did not want to do. She
Yeah.
wrote a whole book, and I read half of the book. And I was like, I threw that book away. I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm just saying a prostitute comes in various different forms. And to be honest with you, any woman who sleeps with a man who pays her rent, pays her car note,
That make any
takes her
woman a
on trips.
prostitute, dude.
And that's why women should close their legs until they get that ring.
Oh, so
I'm just saying, like, people are prostituting themselves on various different levels, right?
hold
It's
on,
just
hold
what
on,
it is.
hold on. You just made a lot of women upset, right?
But you know what? It's we all, as women, we all have to wake up and realize that, hey, don't allow someone to prostitute you for a trip to go to Vegas. Like,
Hey, and then they'll turn around and get pregnant and be like, I don't want this baby because I got to still go make this money. So they go,
well,
but
laws
we
have changed. You can't do that now.
we're not well. We had a
Short.
podcast. We had a podcast where if I any hold on, I did a little research after we had this podcast, and it comes to find out that even though that law occurs, but it's not in every state. You know,
Yeah,
like California. I think
yeah.
Notice brought that out too. Like California went up against it, and
It's not
um,
acknowledged. It is state by state legislation.
issue. Right,
Yeah.
right,
So
right.
every state has their right to do it or not. And then that's in the bill. It's just holding like, yo, by state, this is what it is. And according to the state, some states
Well,
are
this is what we can say. When 900,000 babies have died, I guess the U.S. has said, "Hey, we're in a crisis. That's a crisis situation. We lost 1 million babies." And
Hold on.
that's why they're saying, "Hey, we gotta put a stop to this or slow this down some
A
kind of way."
million? Are these 1 million babies alive or
No,
aborted?
that aborted last year. It was almost 1 million. It was like 940 something thousand.
went over those numbers last podcast. Yes, it was nine something,
That's yeah.
thirty
So
thousand.
I just read, I just, rounded it up. That's 1 million deaths. That's a lot, that's a lot.
And I noticed did read he read last podcast when we was looking it up, he read that it was point 0.5 that were due to rape
Oh,
and
wow.
and
Which is
the
very
rest
low.
just
There
but
was a
that is
overall, don't step on there. There was an overall 23% when you added it all together. Where it came to rape, didn't want it, or it was like
The
incest or
dude's no
whatever.
good.
Yeah, it was collective. Yeah, there was a 0.5 when it came to rape. There was 0.5 there. But when you collected, like when it came to birth defects or this and that, blah, 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 the overall percentage did boil down to 23% of
Mm,
that number, of the
mm.
overall of 900,000.
Yeah.
23% of that, which I would say is almost a quarter of
Yeah.
it. Sure. So almost 200,000, 250, which is still a lot. That's a lot
Yeah.
still. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That means
And
800,000 were just like, you know what? I don't like him anymore. We broke up. So,
that's
and my
that's that was my whole fucking issue right there, was like that point that you just spoke of
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's why
But
the law's there. So,
my point was to the same effect. Like if you close the door to the 23%, right?
yeah.
You can't close the door. If you close the door, they won't have those 23% won't have nothing to rely on. Like it's like sure, okay, cool. Then I feel like if you do close the door, that number will go up. Now,
Yeah.
motherfucker, rape, incest, all that shit goes up because motherfucker be like, don't fucking matter. Do what I do. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
23 turned to 40% real quick. So it just that
Wait,
that
so
was
you're saying you think a man is more likely to rape somebody just because they know they can't get an abortion? I'm like, wait, that's not.
Sometimes
sure.
I'll be like,
You get an abortion,
I
you get
thought I
caught.
was tripping.
I mean, you can't get an abortion. I don't know. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I see what you're saying. You're saying the guys that do incest are like paying these girls to go take care of it so they don't get caught, type of thing.
I
That's
can't
what
think of the mind of a crazy motherfucker. I'm just saying, like, I'm
yeah.
just saying, like,
I don't know. It's a
Yeah,
sad situation.
it is. It's
yes.
very sad. So
well, speaking of to make the situation light and make it happy,
Yeah.
remember we was having a conversation about the guy that got the was working at Burger King for like 25 some odd years or some shit,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they
27
gave him like
years.
a handy bag,
Yeah,
and
we
it was
gave him a
nothing.
hefty
He was
bag of not hefty, but yeah, yeah.
right. So Burger King veteran receives over a quarter of a million.
Shut the fuck up. Shut
I couldn't
up.
speak on this at all. I don't know anything about
Yes,
this.
Oh my goodness. You don't know nothing about
yes,
this guy?
No.
Okay, so let me bring you up to speed. So there was this big thing on TikTok, Instagram, all this, that where this guy he had worked at Burger King for 27 years. And they gave him like it wasn't a retirement bag, but it was like, yo, here's a bag of goodies to say that we're proud of you. And it was in that bag, it was like Skittles, a pen,
Mhm.
a button.
Mhm.
It was like shit that you would
Stupid
give
stuff.
trinkets. It was trinkets. Nothing. A Starbucks gift card for I think $25. I don't even think it was that much. Like $15, something like that. Like nothing of like
it
real
was bad. It was
like
bad.
of a multi-billion-dollar company to be like, hey, thank you for working 27 years since you was a teenager till now, my guy. Like, here you go. Like, no. So it went viral on the social media. Everybody looked at it and it was like, yo, like what the fuck? I mean, he even got like little small candies and like a button. It was crazy. It was crazy.
So
So
what? Everybody just started giving him money because they felt bad, like, oh, they messed him over.
I guess his video went viral. So I
yeah,
mean, you know,
because he was not humbled about it. I mean, excuse me, he was not humble. He was very humbled about it. He was like, "Oh, this is great." Blah blah blah. It wasn't like, "Oh, this shit, this shit, this." No, he was like, "Oh, thank you. This and that. This I like. Oh, I got a pen. Or this and that. Oh, this is great." And blah blah blah.
But
So when,
why was he on GoFundMe?
huh?
Why was he on GoFundMe? Was he just like, hey, I need help because this
I
is
think
what they
somebody
gave me?
created that for him. I think somebody
right,
created it.
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
right.
I don't think he did it. I think somebody in his family. I don't know. I can't be sure. I'm just hearing about
So
it. Just
yes, this. Oh, I'm sorry.
250,000.
So so check the what it is you're right. Someone there was a guy that saw his story and that put up a GoFund,
That's
and
nice.
you know what I mean. And they really, you know what I mean. I mean, come on, the guy's been working at McDonald's. I mean, Mickey D's.
Burger
No,
King.
Burger King for like how many years? You know, you think you know how to put a GoFundMe together?
But that just lets you guys know that like there's a lot of people out there that have money, right? And we just need to tap into it because that's craziness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just kind of thought that was like very, you know. Before we get to our main topic, people, I have something I want to show you guys. I thought this was a pretty crazy headline. I didn't dig too much deep in the story, so we're gonna 250 for working at Burger King. No, no, Burger King didn't give him shit.
Is due diligence.
The
He didn't
motherfucker
get a
was
retirement package.
He didn't get a retirement plan, no 401k, nothing. So there was a person that saw it, and this story went viral. A person saw it, put a GoFundMe together, and he reached over a quarter of a million, over a quarter of a million. So, um, but
Crazy.
I'm going to. This is something that I saw that I thought was pretty crazy. So, Virginia toddler left in the car, dies. Father kills himself. Right, and it says a toddler accidentally left in the car for hours, died Tuesday on police said his father was found dead in an apparent suicide at the Virginia home, police said.
blow it up,
Chesterfield
bitch.
County. Okay, I'm gonna blow it up some more. Me.
There you go.
Okay. Says Chesterfield County Police receives a call around 11:45 a.m. indicating that an 18-month-old boy have been left in the car for several hours, police said in the news release. Lieutenant, what's that? What's the COL abbreviation? It's like
Colonel, I don't know.
Yeah, Colonel or
Lieutenant Colonel.
Ah,
Okay,
yeah, Lieutenant
but
Colonel. There you go, Lieutenant Colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Hensley said police were in touch with the child's mother and relatives who reported that the boy had not been dropped off at daycare and may be in danger.
hmm.
The Richmond Times Dispatch reported police also learned that the boy's father was at his home and was making suicide statements.
Suicidal
Mental
statement.
health.
Okay, so his mom left the baby in the car, and the dad was a suicidal type person. So
Yeah,
sounds like both of these parents had mental challenges.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Responding officers found the boy dead inside the home, and the man dead from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wounds in the wood. Wow, behind the home.
Mm.
Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, so
Um,
the mom who left the kid in the car, where is she at?
apparently she was not around. They were.
That's
Um,
not making sense.
Yeah, because she needs to be right
You
along
know what
with
I'm
them.
saying? Like, did she leave the baby in the car or did she leave the baby with the dad? Because it's not clear. They just said, oh, the mom, and then we don't hear nothing else about the mom in here. It just says was in touch with the child's mother. So I don't think the mother left the child. It sounds like the father left the child in the car.
I think that's I apparently I think that's what happened because they thought he was dropped off at daycare. They apparently thought he was dropped off at daycare, and they assumed something wrong was happening.
And
So,
UKTA said read more. It says that the
uh,
dad left
So
the
it's the
child.
dad who left the car, the baby in the car.
right, and
This
but
is
it
exactly
says
why I
that the
tell people don't let dads babysit the kids until they're 5.
investigation
Period.
shows that the father accidentally left the child in the car for several hours when he
Oh,
discovered
can't say
the
that.
child dead and returned.
I
Father
mean, here's the
accidentally
thing.
left the vehicle. It says right there. The investigation shows that the father accidentally left the child in the vehicle for several hours. And when he discovered the child dead in the vehicle, he returned home, took the child inside, and then went outside and shot himself. Police said. And then I'll be like, honestly, like it seems like he accidentally. I just don't get accidentally. I never have gotten that shit. Like you have to be on.
Well,
You have to
I
be
was
on
gonna
drugs.
say
You have
it
to.
sounds like well, it said in the article he had suicidal thoughts or stuff like that beforehand. So that means that he probably had mental challenges before. And he, who knows? He probably really did forget and it was like, oh my God, he died. And he freaked out and thought, well, I'm gonna go to prison for the rest of my life, so I might as well just kill myself.
But that's a
Mm,
conscious
mm.
decision to me. That's still conscious. That's the if you're as conscious as that. If you're as conscious as a person to be like, oh, I left my child in the car and they died, and I need to go in and kill myself. Okay,
That's because we're
I'll,
conscious. He's not.
sure it is. If
Okay, how many
I'll be honest, if I left, if I was to do that same thing, which I would never, because I'm very conscious about my kids being in the car. I don't, I can't imagine that thing. Still, like, if I was to do that and then go home and yeah, I would smoke myself too because
I was
I
gonna
was
say you might have been like, okay, I can't believe I did this, and you're so
no,
depressed that you're
I'll fucking end myself. Like my child, yeah, because if I did it, I would never though. But still, like it's like I get it. Like if you left your child in there for a couple minutes and like something happened and they died, I get that. But you left them there for hours, like you
yeah,
didn't pull up knowing that your child was in the back seat. Like what
yeah.
were you doing? Where you
Yeah, but
going?
a lot of people have left their kids in the car. And they
Why?
totally forgot their kids were in the
Only
car.
say
Like they were driving, they hopped out and they're like, oh crap, I left the kid in the car. And then they go back.
but and then you know what I think it is? I think people a lot of those situations, those cases, I think people like go, oh, I can go in here for 5 minutes, and then you're doing whatever you're doing, and they go, oh
Forget.
shit, shit, got caught up in
Yep.
what they're doing, and then
That's
they go,
right.
fuck, you're gonna check on the kid, like, nigga, no, like, I would just, it's just not, trust me, I have, I thought, this, I tell you, I'm guilty of. I've thought about doing it with
He's
the
like, I
dog.
left my kid in the car
No,
twice.
not the kid, not the kids, but the animals. So I'm like, the animals should be
Oh,
good. Shit, I'm going to Walmart 5-10 minutes, and then like, oh shit, it's been 15 minutes. I gotta get out there. Fucking forgot the dogs in there. But my
well,
kid
don't
is
persecute me.
like,
I left my Chihuahua in the car once, and I put the window down a little bit, and I got a nasty note on my truck saying, "You will reap what you sow." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like somebody saw my dog in the car and was just like, "She left her dog in this car," you know. But I'm thinking like, I'm only gonna go in here and get some movie tickets. I'll be right back. So,
right. Go ahead, stay around. I'll give you a Starbucks.
but
Make you
that's
feel
tragic. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on
it
anybody,
is.
and the mother is probably not even able to function right now. I mean, that's just
So
It's a sad,
um so
unfortunate.
I wanted to expound the reason why that shot to me. I thought it was a crazy story to bring up because I don't think people are choosing wisely who to have their
kids with.
offspring with. You
They're
know what I
not.
mean? Like, like a pretty face can only go so far. Cute conversations can only take you so far. You know what I mean? Unless you're really dwelling in on who this person is and where they come from and who are their family and what their family say about them. And you like we had a someone on our podcast that had this similar situation, but there was no child involved. Thank God, there was no child involved, and
Wait,
he
what
was
similar
with.
situation? They left their animal? What's similar to this?
Well, the person he I'll tell you the person he was dating. Nobody died. All right, nobody, no animal, no nothing died. But what similar was one person was chaotic in the sense of bipolar.
Oh,
She was schizophrenia. She was, you know what I mean.
mm.
And the family told him they would tell him all the time, like, "Yo, might want to slow down. You're trying to get married." But he
Oh,
was like so naive. He just thought they was hating on him, like hating on their
No, he was
relationship.
whipped. That's what it was. He was whipped.
Yeah, we said, yeah,
Yeah.
we was like, yeah, nigga, that it was just the cooler was that good.
Yeah.
yeah. You ignored the
But
signs.
right, right, and he was about to get married, and they was about to tie the whole knot and take it on to the next level. And I think she spazzed out on him or something like that, and you know what I mean. He was like, okay, got it, clear picture, out of here. So
But
I
he's
mean,
still
I
in
don't.
love with it. But he's still in love with it.
Hey,
You
he
can't
got
help who
somebody.
you love, right? I mean, everybody has flaws. I just think that you're right. I think that people do need to do their research on who they're with, but we also have to give grace for people because, like, you can meet a guy right now, like most black men, right? Sorry, but they got stuff going on with them in the past, right? So if you go and say, "Oh, well, your dad said you did this all growing up and you used to steal hubcaps, so you're a thief, and I can't be with you," people do change, but when people have mental issues, they're not going to necessarily disclose that. And that's why how many of people that we date do we actually ask them, hey, do you have any mental issues I need to know about? Have you been on any medications in the past?
See,
Who's really asking that before they lay down with somebody, you know?
isn't that the thing? Though? Everybody has mental issues. Now, the level of
Mhm.
those mental issues may differ in degree, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a person that talks to themselves, there's a person that talks to themselves, right? I talk to myself all the time. I
Thank you
sometimes
for letting
answer.
us know, Notice.
What'd you say?
I said, thank you for letting us know you talk to yourself.
I have no problem with it. Yep. Anybody knows me. I'm very intellectual. Like, look, I know this. That nigga not crazy. But I'll tell you like this. I look at you, be like, should I fuck this nigga? Bitch, no. Should I fuck this nigga? And then my left side would be like, no, nigga, don't fuck him up. Then my right side be like, yeah, nigga, go ahead. Pop his ass.
I think the
Bitch
best way to
knows
find
because
out
I get
about
crazy.
I think
I
the
have a
best way to find out about people is to ask their ex spouses. Like
you
they'll
don't
give
know.
you,
You don't fucking do that. That's the
oh
wrong
no,
fucking thing to do.
that's the right thing to do because they'll say
Oh,
the
are you
good, the
fucking
bad, and
no,
the
I'm saying,
ugly.
okay,
Because the
great.
parents are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I love my boy"
I'm
and all this stuff. But if you ask the exes, if your ex says, he's a good guy, he's a little immature, but he's a good guy, I'm gonna ride with that before I would what his best friend's saying or cousin or something like
Look,
that.
the last time that fucking happened, I ended up in the threesome I didn't want to be in. I'm just being real. I'm being completely honest. The last time my ex asked my ex now that asked my ex, my current girlfriend at the time, asked my fucking ex a question like that, I ended up a threesome, which I thought was bad to begin with, and
Oh
it
God.
yes, yeah. So you can look. I'm telling you, and I know a lot of cats like the cats that me and Biz. We know a lot of cats, and like the cats that I know. I'm telling you, that shit will not fly because most women they despise the ex.
The new girl.
Better, it's a mass. Just like men have a masculinity thing with other men, women have that feminine or that woman thing. Like, yo, fuck that bitch. I'm better than her. Like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah, if
ask
they're
her
not
for.
ready to end it, but
I'm gonna ask her for advice. No, sure. If you're mature enough, if we get to a level of society where we are mature enough, sure, I would agree with you. Totally agree. Go
so you
ahead
think
and
that most women and men aren't mature enough to give a fair, honest assessment of their past because it's not their past. Is what
not
you're
without
saying.
emotion.
They're still in cahoots
Oh,
together.
yeah, absolutely. Without emotion, yes, you're absolutely
See,
right.
that's a ticket for a woman to say deuces. Because if your girl and you are still together, then that's a sign that she should exit to the left.
Don't get me wrong. There are some women that out there that can give the straight advice. Yo, hey, look, I wouldn't fuck with the nigga because he did this, or I wouldn't fuck with the girl because she did this. But
Yeah.
at the same time, he was a good, his attributes are this, his attributes. Look, we might as well be putting resumes in. Might be resumes for relationship. Hey, give me your resume when going to date. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to see your resume and then match up to your family history. Like it doesn't it's too broad. I think we're getting away from the connection value and your instinct value of human being and what and a lot of people derive from this. And I like to bring religion into but what God has brought you because you ask God for certain things, He will give it to you. But a lot of people, what they like to do is they'll ask God for certain things and they'll pick what they want, and that's a difference. So that's just me. That's just me. That's just so.
So I
Yeah.
want to ask this question. I wanted to ask this, and I'm glad y'all went here because I wanted to ask: can people really change truly?
You broke
I
Yes.
up.
don't really think so.
You broke up. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
I hear
sorry.
you.
Can, I want to ask this question: can people really change truthfully? Like really change?
That's a loaded question. Yes and no. Yes, they can.
I this is my answer. God can change anybody. People can't do it. God can.
Woo.
So you've got to figure out, okay, where's that person? Where's the relationship? Because if they don't have anything or anyone that they look up to or that is above them, that they are, humbly saying, look, I've changed my life because of this, not me, but because, I've been convicted of whatever, then that's when you see true change. I mean, most of your people that have done dirt, they change their life for the better and they're a living witness and they go out and teach and help other men to do and be better. Women, same thing. They were like, hey, I used to be this, but now I'm this. So I do believe that people can change, but they don't change. God changes them. Right. So that's my
I,
You
long
know,
answer.
you notice?
I say that's a beautiful answer. Um, and I'll be honest with you. With or without God, I believe with what you're saying. I believe overall you cannot have a true change without God. That's my
Yes.
answer in regards to in loop. Excuse me, not in loop, but with in regards to what she's saying. Now, opposed from that, let's say somebody is not including God. I still do
Mhm.
believe that person can change. Now,
Mhm.
whether that change will have a long lasting
Lasting effect.
effect
Yeah.
is a deciding
Mhm.
factor of what
Correct.
everything is on. Sure, they can change. They
Yeah.
change briefly. They can change for 10 years, 15 years.
Correct.
That doesn't say that they didn't change. People go, oh, you didn't change because you did the same thing you did 15 years ago. No, that person changed for 15 years. They changed.
Yeah.
Now is upon now it's on that person because they made a conscious decision. They did it without God. God holds you accountable. So with that, if you owe God with that, then that is your everlasting change. And now with that, it can be back and forth because you can have
You're
God
struggling. Yeah, you're
and
struggling.
still not work and still not do what you're supposed to do and still not freaking change. I know
Yeah.
so many pastors, Biz, you know so many pastors and
Mm.
choir directors, and you be like, look, this nigga would not change the way he play a piano or the motherfucking keys or whatever for anybody. For anybody. Even though smack dab in the face, somebody is telling them, like, yo, you can make more money or you can do this with this
Yeah.
change. So
Yeah.
that's why I said it was a loaded question, because if there is so many different variables, but to answer it bluntly, yeah, people can change. It depends on the dynamic of where people are changing and who they have involved in their life.
Correct. I was going to say who the company that you keep, and also age has a lot to do with it. Age has a lot to do with it because once you hit 45, 50 years old, the chances of that person completely changing their lifestyle, it's going to depend on their circumstances because they're set. They've been doing this for 50 years. You're not going to get him to like stop doing or get her to stop doing something that they've been doing all their life. And they don't have the desire to change, right? Someone who's 20, they can totally change their life and totally change their direction they were going because they haven't done it long enough to have those habits.
And I'm glad you brought that up. My mom, to give you an example, my mom, she was a smoker her whole life. She smoked cigarettes back to back, chain smoke. I'm like, yo, mom, can't smoke. Look, you got a stent put in your heart, blah, blah, blah. Let's go get you a vape. She changed for a little bit. She was like, oh, I'm gonna try this vape thing. She tried it, loved it. We tried different vapes for a month or two. You can ask my sister April. She was like, yo, mom was good. She hasn't been smoking. It's been like maybe 3 months. Mom didn't smoke. And then eventually herself got herself because she's 64.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna die some kind of way. Like,
and that's exactly what the fuck she said. She said,
yeah.
I'm gonna go out how I want to go out, and this is the way I want to go out. So let me smoke. And I'm like, fuck, no, like, still, did she change? She did briefly. She didn't completely.
Her age. She's already set in her ways, and she's like, "It is what it is." I've lived my life.
Permanent change, Biz. Permanent change, like Kat says, comes with God and intervention, and it just comes with a lifestyle of a person that wants to change your heart. If you want to change, you have to change your heart. You have to change your mind frame. You have to change your habits. You have to change your way of being, and that's the only way you can change. You cannot say, "Oh, I'm gonna change this," and not change anything else about you. You have to, period.
And another thing people say they change for is for a person, and that's like the wrong reason to change. Because if that person changes or that person falters, then that means now there's nothing keeping you on the hook to be that better self because you did it for a person, not for yourself.
You'll go into a rabbit hole after that. Yeah, you'll fall detrimental to the what I like to call now is the dark man, which is.
I mean, I get what you guys are saying, but it's very chameleon lifestyle. You know,
it could be.
You know, and
it could be and it could not. So, for example, if you were, I don't know, smoking meth or what, I don't know, doing something, weed, and you did it for 10 years, and all of a sudden you get married, and your wife's like, "Look, you can't have that around my kids. I don't want that in my life. Stop." You can change that. That's not a chameleon. You're just saying, "Hey, I decided to give up that drug of choice or whatever." I mean, people have things that they do that they can totally change. It's just how important is it to you? If someone can stop doing drugs for 25 years and be clean for the rest of their life, and I don't know if they're a chameleon. I think they just made that decision to say, hey, I'm not going to let this control me. I'm going to control it.
And Biz said,
So
and the caveat on top of that, like just, and I'm asking you, just the same thing. Like, nigga, you know that I used to smoke weed. I used to bring the weed to the studio all the time.
It's like daily.
All the time. No, I used to bring ounces, all that shit. Like,
Oh, so you were the Snoop Dogg of your high school?
I was big smoking weed. Like, you can't even catch a blunt. I mean, you might catch a blunt in my house, but I had to smoke. I got a blunt right now sitting in my wife's car. I haven't touched that fucking shit in like over 4 months. Is that not change? Is that not some sort of change?
I don't know if that's
I
change.
didn't.
I think
I
that's you
didn't. I
slowed
didn't.
down.
It's a
You
change.
slowed down. You didn't say you gave it up. You just said I ain't did it in 4 months. That's totally
Still a
different
change.
from
Whether I go
And that's
35,
what most
100,
people
if I go
do.
100 miles
Stop
per
for
hour,
the moment.
if I go 25 miles per hour, that's the change of speed. So what do you? I don't care how you categorize it. It's still a change. Sure. That's a change.
I think that's a pause. You press the pause button.
Pause for me not doing it for that time frame. A change is a change. I changed my habits. I changed what I do. If I don't eat beef for a year and then I go back to eating beef once a year, it's still a change. That's a change. Changing habit. Changing
I
what you
guess
do.
it's a temporary change. I don't know. When I think of change, I think I'm not doing this no more. I gave it up. Like I'm.
How do you label it to permanent though? How do you categorize the permanent? A change is a change. If I
Okay,
go
wait. So that means if a guy says he's a cheater and he gets married, he says I'm going to give up messing around with other women. We should all say he's not going to change forever for the rest of our life.
okay, so okay, now, okay, we're talking about.
You're saying pause. I ain't hearing change. I'm hearing I paused.
If we're talking about relationship standpoints, those are rules in which you need to change permanently and not have a deadline. So those come into a category of conversation where you're not going to change temporarily.
So check.
So you're right.
I hear you guys. I think it's more of that part. It's more. I think it's more of a pause. It's more of a trying to break a habit, but some things can't be broken, and sometimes people go back to where they are now. What I can say, are people great at masking their habits, right? Masking that, like what you made example about the cheater, right? He can be in a relationship and mask that. He didn't change. He just masking that. Like he just putting a cap on it. You know what I mean? There's boundaries, right? So he just don't want to overdo those boundaries. You know what I mean? Or he don't want that representation to be on in his current relationship, right? Like he want to show that I changed, but naturally, most likely, he really just masking. Now, throughout time, we come better, right? Because practice makes
wait. So
right?
you're saying men mask being faithful?
No, you twisting my words. We're talking with cheating, right?
Yeah.
Right. I was going off the cheating part, right? And I said you were like, well, what if he was a cheater, right? He was a habitual cheater. It kind of came across like he was an habitual cheater, and he get with somebody, and he's like, yo, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, no more.
Well, if he was doing that before you, he's pretty much gonna do it. But what I'm saying is,
okay. So you're saying he masked it. He's just masking it.
Wait, right. He's masking it. And what it's doing now, check. This is the great part though. Throughout time, people become better at things. You know how we could talk ourselves into things, or you know how kids can really make themselves think they're Batman, a superhero. Like they can really think. I mean, when I was a kid, I really thought I was a gargoyle. Like I really thought I was like Batman. You know what I mean? Like it was a show called Gargoyles on TV. I used to always want to be. I'm like, yeah, gargoyles are tight, right? But we can really make ourselves think these things, right? And that kind of start acting in the life. So throughout time, like it can change him, like in the sense of he's masked it so well that he just don't even think about it no more. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I kind of said. Wait. Huh? Like,
So you're
okay,
saying
for drums.
just
Okay,
get to
I give you for
a belief
drums. No, wait. I give you a personal example. Drums, right? Drums. You see them back here. I got 2 set of drums here, right?
Okay.
I can never change myself and stop playing drums, right? That's like my wife coming out here and say, "Babe, you want us to stay to, be together? You need to stop drumming and shit like that,
Then you
right?"
should tell her that's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker.
Right.
No, listen, no. But check. It's the same thing. I look at it. I look at everything. I don't look at things double standard. I look at things straight across the board, right? It's like if a person doesn't want you to do something, it's just period, right? You know what I mean? Like if they don't want you to do something, you have 2 ways. You can either compromise with that, or you can just say, like what you just said, deal breaker,
It's a deal breaker.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if it came to that point, right? I couldn't change the fact that I know how to play drums. Like this is in me, but I can mask it into a sense that throughout time, I just won't have that need again, right? And that's what they do with That's what they do with nicotine patches,
Yeah.
right? It's the
That's not the
same.
same. No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Well, here
What's
I understand. Look, I
it?
understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say you may love something and you may give it up or suppress
No,
it, but that's
no.
not to me. I think
Addiction and talent of
it's
what
two
you're
different
born with a
things.
gift is 2 different things. I'm sorry.
Oh my
It
God! No, no,
is.
no, 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 no,
It
no,
I'm
no,
is
just
no,
two
saying.
no.
different
That's,
concepts.
Check.
I'm just
No,
saying.
no, no, no. See, no, wait. You got to stop because I have to correct somebody on that too.
Okay.
Addiction is literally I can be addicted to the studio. I can be addicted to the stage. I can be addicted to the fucking lyrics, the
Are
mic,
you
where I can
drumming?
show no, huh?
Are you addicted
You
to
just sit
drumming?
there drumming in the middle of the night, like I'm
Like
addicted.
you get what I mean? Like literally
Sure.
verbatimly, right? And literally that alters other people. That alters people start feeling not important. People start feeling left out because you know what I mean. They can a fucking addiction is. I look at it as something that you do obsessively,
No,
right?
it's true because there's some people who are like they are always in the studio. They always have to be performing. They totally neglect their family and their life. I get
Literally,
that.
I know a
Um,
gang of them. I'm like,
I
my God,
know.
you
Yeah.
are sickening. Like you worse than me. I need to go see my family.
You can
Hey,
be addicted to anything. You
This
can
is
be
what I'm
addicted to
saying.
anything.
This
But
is
we were talking
this,
about change
this
and
is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You have unrealistic and you have realistic. I know you
yes,
said across the board. You have across the board where it's black and white, right? Um, but the problem is, like, if I was born with something and a person told me that I need to change myself based on what I was born with,
that's a deal
is
breaker.
different from a habit that I picked up along the
Over
way
no,
time.
after I was
Yes.
born
no,
with.
you
That's
don't
where
get
I'm
it.
coming from.
No,
This is
I
like,
look at that as
when you bring
a
smoker,
trans
when you
person.
hold on, when you bring a smoker analogy up to what a person was born with, like you being gifted in piano,
Yeah.
drumming, singing, or anything of that nature, versus
Right, but you're not.
alcoholism, beating, raping, this and that.
But
Those
that's
things
an
are
extreme. You're
different.
using extremes. So those
No,
are
I'm
those
using,
are
I'm
highly.
using, I'm using less and extreme. I'm using small to extreme. I'm using both. So smoking, let's go eating. Let's go eating habits, right? That's something that you are
That's an
not born with.
addiction. That can be an
No,
Some
addiction.
people are addicted to
born with.
eating.
You're not born with the
Yes.
eating addiction. You're not. You're not born with the eating
Are
addiction.
you serious?
That's a learned
Have you
behavior.
seen some
You're
of
not
these
born.
kids?
That is a
You're not
learned
born
behavior.
to eating
That is a
addiction. But
learned
here,
behavior.
you guys,
It's
I'll sum it up. I'll sum it up. Here's the thing: you guys
One
are
second.
both saying the same thing,
One
but
second.
it's up to the person to choose to say, "I'm going to stop this addiction, no matter what it is, to be with that person or be in this company that I keep or whatever, or I'm not." That's it. And then the person who's dealing with you either says, "Hey, you either change these behaviors, whether it be drumming all night long or smoking up this place all night long, or I'm not going to deal with it." That's just,
and that
you have to make those decisions.
and I can
Right,
understand
but
that
what
because
my
you
whole
can be
point
a
was,
drummer and go into a lot of
no,
different
that's
things.
no,
You
that
can drum
doesn't.
yourself to death.
Yes, you
Yeah,
can. I'm
technically
trying
you
to
can.
like.
Yeah, if it became a
That's why I'm trying to like. You could lose. I've seen people. I know musicians who are old men right now have lost so much. Like their families don't even talk to them. Their kids are, and they do side by. They still do these gigs, and I mean, like So when I say like, no, this shit is actually real, motherfuckers would literally lose. Like having a gift is one thing, but what you do with that gift, right? That's another. But
Yes.
becoming obsessed, right? But becoming obsessed with the technicalities of things and like, you know what I mean? Or I have to learn it. I have to be. That can literally draw you to like a crazy addiction, like obsession. And it can literally be like a person is like on like I mean, I don't know about some people, but when I play drum, there is an energetic high come to it,
Yes.
right?
Every
There's a
musician has that.
right, it's an energetic high that comes to
That
like a
stage feeling, that
musician,
presence, everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
just
But
being in the
that
moment.
that literally that's
it's
dopamine,
addictive.
right?
It is dope. It's
That
a dope
dope,
for me.
thank you. And
Dopamine.
that dopamine becomes in like really. And if
Yeah,
we're not on the
yeah.
stage, like there, look, I was touring for 5 years straight, right? For 250 shows. When I got back to just kind of sit down and like see my kids be raised, I
I'd rather
started
be
going through
back
these
on fucking
phases.
tour.
No. It was I started feeling these withdrawals, like these weird ass,
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean.
what the
Shit.
fuck? Like what the
I don't
fuck is
hear any
going on?
tunes.
Right? Because I'm so attached to like
Fuck
doing
these
these
cartoon
movements.
kids.
My body, like
I
my
don't hear
muscles,
this part.
Okay, but if you know you have an addiction problem, we're trying to
no,
give
no,
you
no,
therapy. Put
Right.
the
no.
sticks
But what
down.
I'm saying, right? Right. But what
Fuck
I'm saying is
SpongeBob.
like
Give me a bass
I had
solo.
to, I, I had to understand. I had to understand like how to not only mask the anger, right, and mask the anxiety, be able to work through it, right? Because a lot of artists don't, and a lot of musicians don't really work through the mental part,
A
and
lot of people
that's
in entertainment don't work through the mental part. That's why they have like they have now set up systems where you have a manager, you have a doctor you can talk to for mental health, right? Because
right,
it is such a different thing. You're around all these people and you're like, we love you and all this kind of stuff. And you get in your car and you're like, I'm by myself. Oh, I'm driving home. Like you went from this to now here. And you get all these people with depression and they turn to drugs because they just want to stay on that high. They want to feel like they're needed, they're wanted, they're loved, they're adored. And they get home and they're like, oh, hey, Pete, the food's in there. You know what I mean? It's a
right.
different vibe. But
You know what? No, go ahead. No. You right.
that's why it's like you have to say, okay, look, I have to have a balance and I have to not be selfish. We have to make that choice to say, I'm not going to be selfish. My gifts and my artistry can't override who I'm with and who's in my life and who's a part of my life.
Right, right,
And that's a
right,
hard,
right.
thing to balance.
Yeah, and I definitely understand that, and that's why I kind of like look at it so deeply when it comes to the entertainment world, because a lot of people, don't have that
Structure.
mental aspect to even like decompress. Sometimes I even have to do it now, like when I'm working on other stuff. You know what I mean? Where I have to just like take a moment, just watch Netflix movies all day, like
Let me ask you
just
something.
just decompress and just like
Let me
get it
ask you
out of
something.
your brain.
Do you think it's a culture or a tradition within the music business of a person performing that way to not be able to change? Do you think
I,
it's a
I
culture or it's a
It's a culture,
tradition?
but you can change.
no, I don't think it's a culture. I don't. I mean,
You don't
honestly,
think
I'll,
it's a
I'll let
culture?
her. I'll let. I'll no. Just check. I'll let her expound. But honestly, I think it's the want to be better, right? It's the want of success. It's like once you reach a certain level, you want more, and that becomes like a drug. I think J. Cole spoke about this like a couple times when he was talking about it, where the success really became like a drug to him. Like he just wanted more, more, more. That's why he went the way like the whole minimalist thing. You know what I mean?
And you
And
know what? Once you go up here, there's nowhere to go.
right,
Yeah,
and you just
I've seen
and
a lot of people. That's a heroin high to me because I've seen a lot of people go to heroin highs, and that to me, I look at that like a heroin high. Like everybody goes to that high, and they go like, "Shit, I didn't even want to be here." Like honestly, everybody goes to. They be like, "Yo, I wish I was just regular. I wish
But
I was just normal. Oh, I wish I was just this." I'm like, fuck. What do you mean? You got billions of people that love you. You got billions of people, and they all
but
go.
Doesn't mean
Nope.
nothing. But here's the thing:
Finish.
every industry that you're
Sure.
in, it doesn't matter if you're in finance, entertainment, medical industry, whatever it is, it's a culture. There's a culture in every industry. If you're in
Absolutely.
the medical industry, there's a culture there. If
Yep.
you're in the music industry, there's definitely a culture there
For
that
sure.
comes with that whole industry. The way
Okay,
people
okay.
dress,
Well,
the way people
wait, wait,
talk, the
wait,
way
wait.
people go.
Let's filter it out because I honestly don't that culture that you speak of. I don't see, and I'm around anyway.
You're
So
in the
let's speak about it.
culture.
Right. So let's speak about it. What would be considered music culture?
The way people dress.
It's music.
Musicians, their hairstyles, their way they dress is totally different than if you're in corporate America. You can't wear dreads and be having your jeans sagging and you just coming in with a t-shirt on. You can't do that. The culture of musicians have their own little thing. They come in and they feel free to be whoever they want to be. You can't do that
Ooh,
in a different
hey,
industry.
hey, talk
So
that
Okay.
that's
shit.
one culture. The other culture is late nights. You gotta be, if you're gonna be a musician, you better be prepared to have a lot of late nights, a lot of weekends taken, period. That's just the culture. And if you date
All
somebody who's a
yes,
musician, you best know Friday nights you may be home alone or you're gonna be at his concert. That is a culture
and
right
you talk
there.
that something. You talk
Huh?
that. You talk that something.
It's the
Yeah.
truth. And
Hey,
then let's not talk about the obvious culture, the sleeping around. That is a culture. You are not going to be a doctor and able to sleep with all the nurses, even though they might do. But I'm just saying, with musicians and singers and all that stuff, they all mess around with each other because it's the
what
culture.
you get too far away. What culture is that though? Like what culture
It's
is
just,
that?
when you connect with people in a certain way, if you're singing a song or you're playing the music, it's a different vibe you have. And you all of a sudden are like, oh, he's kind of cute, or but then 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, I never liked him. I just was cool with him because we
See, I
vibed on
don't.
that song.
Okay, I have to stop. I don't get
It's
that.
like that.
That's not culture. No, that's not.
And
The musicians,
It's going
entertainers
on in the
get their
culture big time.
entertainers are a reflection of the communities. Honestly, they get their
Most
culture from.
most
They get
singers,
their
musicians, entertainers, they all end up hooking up because that's a part of the culture.
no.
Like
No. That's just not. No, that's a level. Like that's a level of like celebrity shit. Like you know what I mean. Like if I'm high up here, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean. Most celebrities don't go down. Like they usually date somebody in that realm. Like
if they
that just
can,
proximity. That just happens. Like that's not like it's not like in corporate America, I'm you know what I mean, I'm pretty
you're
sure
gonna
that
date people that
happens.
you're around.
Yes, so that's like that's just by nature, right? That's not like you know what I mean. I just
That's
kind of look at that
corporate
as
culture.
proximity. Right, it's just proximity. So to me, that's just a part of the game. But when we speak of like I guess with the way I see culture is, I don't look at the music we get our culture from the public, from people, the community. They're the ones that give us the culture that you see. We represent the public.
See,
Literally,
I think
that's
the
why.
opposite. I think that musicians create the culture because whatever song you
Oh
create or
wow.
whatever vibe you create and
Oh
people
wow.
like it, people
So
navigate to it. Just like trap
okay.
music and all
that's
that
right.
kind of stuff. That came because
Okay.
somebody said,
So
hey, you know what? I like this. And all of a sudden, all these trap people are like, yeah, I like trap.
okay, you ready?
It's just,
Now I, I one question. Where do they get the ideas from?
From the culture.
jam sessions. I don't know. I mean, some people have jam sessions. They
From
just
the
create a whole,
community, from the community
That's
that
the
they're
culture.
around. That's what I'm
The
telling you.
community is the culture though.
They,
Isn't that not?
it's the culture. Sorry.
The community
I'm
is the
saying
culture.
that musicians get their culture or entertainers get their like if a person walking down the street could look like a musician and he's probably not even a musician. He just look like he just fresh. He just has the style. He just has the you know what I mean? Like a lot of
Very
musicians.
rare that we see that though. I can
Right.
usually tell when people
Nah,
are
no, we see
Period.
it all the time, baby. Here, no,
What?
we do.
How
in
many?
LA.
How
Like if
many?
you're in LA, you can tell. Like well, you can almost tell industry people.
I know
Not.
there look like a lot of rappers and gangsters out there. Like,
It look like
okay,
a lot of rappers.
gangster
I'm
is
just
a culture,
saying.
right? Gangsters is a
Mm-hmm.
culture, right? So there's a lot of gangsters and there's a lot of rappers in fucking LA. in Compton.
Yeah.
Look,
So
think about NWA. How is NWA able to talk about the shit that they were talking about? Where did they get the shit from? They only represented the shit that they was in, the culture, which is the community that they were in. So
Yeah, the
musicians,
community.
entertainers get their shit from the people, the
community.
community. That's where we get
You're
the
right.
culture from.
Yes.
Trust. If it wasn't a popping culture, Megan Thee Stallion wouldn't be doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
I
If
don't
there
know who that
wasn't
is.
thoughts, there would be no
If it
Megan.
wasn't popular, she wouldn't be doing it. She'd be doing something
There
totally
would be
different.
no Cardi B.
I don't know who Megan is.
There
So
would be no none of that.
who is
Cardi
Megan?
B, Nicki
Huh?
Minaj. I mean,
You know, Lotto who won BET
Lotto,
Awards.
you know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't
top
even watch
five.
BET Awards. It's just a joke now.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you think about it, why are these girls coming out with the same style, with the same?
Because you men like it.
No,
No,
because the culture is asking for it. The community. Come on, man. Who pops to those fucking shows? There don't be niggas coming to those shows a lot. There'll be a
I
lot
don't
of
think so.
females.
Women go through
Yeah,
the
a
shows.
lot of women showing up to them shows.
It's a
So
fact.
I'm just saying.
I ain't trying to see no girl with a big booty bouncing her booty in my face. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
not going to those shows.
Look, I know 4 or 5 of them just in my circle that, like, not in my circle, but there's 4 or 5 I know that be like, yeah, nigga, hey, give me a BET award. If I told them, like, I got BET tickets, nigga, let's go. If I told
See,
you I
that's
got a,
Hey,
if I told you I got a BET ticket, we going to red carpet, cat, you not going? You're not
I mean,
going
if
to
I'm perform, like if I'm there with the person who's performing or something, you know, that's different.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
If you said to me right now, if you said to me, "Hey, I want to take you to a Nicki Minaj concert,"
no, I got not concert. I got a BET Award 2022.
We're gonna answer your question,
red carpet ticket. You not going?
I wouldn't go just because I don't know any of the artists. I mean, I know a few of the artists. All these new people now, I'm just like, what are they talking about? Like, they're not singing. That's all they're saying. I'm like,
I believe the same thing that you believe, but guess what? I still would go just because I'm going to interact with those people. I'm gonna get a better understanding of those people. I'm going to get a better insight of those people. I'm going to go just not even just because I want to go and I want to see what the fuck is all this hype really about.
So you're going for the networking. You're going for the show. You're going for the networking.
Not CGI. I'm going to see this booty shaking, not CGI. Oh, that's just some real booty. Okay, no.
But it sounds like you're saying you're going for the networking, though. You're going for the connections, not really to see the show.
Yeah, because I know this goes for all of the above. Yeah, you're right. All of the above. You're right.
We gotta answer this question because I think this broke the mold right here. This broke the mold. So where did 6ix9ine learn to testify his hood? What, his culture or the community?
Well, culture and community are one and the same. You can't separate the two. Yeah, because your community, if you live in, let's say, I'm just saying, if you live in Watts, okay, your community and culture is surrounded by who you are around, depending on how far we're taking the word culture, right? You could be of African descent, right? And you move to Watts. Yeah, your culture is going to be a little different because you weren't raised and born in that community. So if we're taking culture that far, yes, but culture and community are one and the same. If you're saying, okay, this person is living, breathing, going to school with all these people, they all wear the same outfits, they all like the same type of Jordans or whatever, that's your culture and community because that's what you're around.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, you know who 6ix9ine is?
Isn't it a singer?
Ask your question. So bring it up.
He's a rapper.
Oh,
now, right?
I thought there was a group called 6ix9ine.
He's like, I think he's Puerto Rican.
Ooh, I like that.
No, he's Mexican. He's Hispanic.
Okay, Mexican. My bad. He's Mexican. All right. Mm-hmm. Now we know the culture of Latinos, Mexicanos, right?
Sure.
But he don't represent that culture. He talks about
because that's probably not how he was raised and what he was around.
Which is the community. Which is the community he was around was a gang of all these dudes, and he started claiming his hood, and that's the guy in the crazy mess he got in.
Yeah, but we're talking about race versus community and culture. Your
No,
race is totally different from your culture. Like I can
no, no.
sound black, but if I was from Europe, I'm not going to have the same culture community you guys have because
I
I was
got it. I
raised in
got it.
Europe, right?
Okay. No, see, like,
He said no.
you're right. You're right. You're right. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, black culture to me is not like all hip hop culture. You
It's
get what I mean?
not. That's absolutely
That's what
true.
I'm saying. Right. So the community that represents that twang of
You know that
style,
emoji is like this.
right?
That's,
Right? Like, so when you have like 6ix9ine who come from this area, which is I believe in New York and Brooklyn, I believe, but
Oh,
when you come from
Brooklyn.
that,
That's mostly a
right,
black area.
which is a hooded area, which his music represents. Like he got his culture from that. Is what I'm saying. Like
Yes.
the culture to represent was from
His
that.
community. Yeah.
Right? So he got the culture from them. Like that's how he was able to do the shit that he did. He's from a whole different lifestyle, but he
Okay.
which
took
is
on
a
the
black
whole.
community though. You just said that culture was not like hip hop was not a black culture, which it is.
It
I
is.
beg
No, it's not. It's not
I
a
will
black.
always,
Oh my god!
I will always battle you on
You
this.
cannot.
This,
You cannot.
but I
No,
will.
black
There's
people
You
never
started
need to
hip
ask
hop.
people to
Stop,
chime
stop.
in on
No,
this.
no, 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 no. Stop, 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 stop. No, no,
no,
no.
no,
Let
no,
me
no, no.
correct you.
You
Let
stop.
me correct you.
Hip
Let me
hop
correct you.
is a
No,
black culture to
It
no.
begin
is
with.
a
Oh my.
culture.
Yes,
It
it
is a
is.
No,
culture slash
Now,
community.
however
no.
Yes.
you
There's
divide that up,
no, no,
however you
no,
divide
no,
it up
no, no,
is
no, no. You got to conflate it, bro. You got to conflate it.
He's like,
There's
no, no, no.
no, no, no. Look, there's
okay.
hip hop culture, right? That people like to say. People like to say hip is hip hop,
And
right? With the big
community.
jewels, like the dope dealer look, right? It's the whole dope dealer look, right? Because they look like the dope dealers in the hood. That's what the
Just
fuck they
that.
got it
It
from.
used to be,
Oh
yeah.
my
It
god,
used to
I
be.
don't see how y'all can get this. Like, right? Then you got then you got black culture, which is literally like jazz music. We got African music, we got blues, we got black
Well, but
rock,
you're talking
we
about
got
culture versus subcultures and sub
You're
communities.
talking about stems.
no.
You're talking about stems.
When we talking black culture, right? I look at black culture as more the lifestyle of black people, how we move. It's not
Yeah,
just
but they're all black
wait,
people are
wait, wait.
different.
Just like
Lifestyle of how black people move.
just like Latinos, right? They have different styles of music. It's not just salsa. They got
That's
merengue,
right.
punta, right?
Yeah, is
Different
that black
styles.
culture? Is
Oh,
that black culture?
hold on. No, it's no, bro. Listen, that's
I'm
a
gonna say yes, it is because there's people in the Dominican and Puerto Rico that are
no,
black
no, 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 no,
and
no,
they
no, no. We're
listen
not
to
talking.
Latino music.
No, no, no. We're
No,
not
That's all
talking
they
right,
know.
but we're talking American. Like we know that
wait,
there's Cubans as black as me. You know what I mean? I know it's Puerto Ricans black as me. But we're
Yes.
talking about, but that's Latin music though, right?
right.
But Latino people, like
Those
you
are
have.
Latino
Oh,
people.
check this out. You have. Have you heard of pupusas? Like Central Americans, right? They eat pupusas. They eat then Mexicanos they eat chilequiles, right? And these are
Mhm.
different dishes, right? Which pertain to like to that culture, right?
There's
But they
black people in that culture.
no, I'm not. No.
He's
We're
like,
talking about
no.
no. When the black people that you're talking about are not the American black people I'm talking about, right? We're talking about you're talking about the Latino black people. They know they're Latino. That's the difference. They understand their culture, right?
You're
But
talking
those
about Americans.
right, but those same people would still listen to like merengue. They'll still listen to hip hop. They'll still listen to reggaeton or whatever, but they'll never forget their culture. So they understand the style and the look or whatever. I just look at it as like hip hop culture is a style. It's not so much of a culture, it's a style. Because the
Boss,
style changes almost all the time.
boss, let me tell you the difference. Let me tell you the difference, okay? Merengue. Merengue. When you think of merengue, what do you think of?
You can't tell me
No,
about
no,
no
no, no, no,
Latin
no.
music. I am a guru on this.
Just answer the question. Let's not deflate. Let's get real. Merengue. What do you think of?
That's Latin music, bro.
Okay. Mariachi. What do you think of?
That's Latin music.
Hip hop. What do you think of?
That's black music, right?
Exactly. So why is that not a culture for people to drive to? Okay, classic
What?
music.
No, no, no.
Hold
Let
on,
me
hold
tell you.
on,
Let me tell you.
hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
okay.
Let me even go further. Classic music.
You
What do
got
you think
this
of?
corner ass.
No, classic music. What do you think of?
Well,
Jazz. We
people,
think
no,
No,
people
not
think,
even no, not
no,
jazz.
no,
I'll
no,
get there.
no. I know.
Classic music. Classic music. What do you think of?
I
Not
think of
what
us.
you know.
That's
What do
because
you
I know
think
the
of?
culture of it.
What do you
I think
think
of
of?
us. I think of us, but
I'm
the
not
general.
no classic
Listen,
music.
listen. Listen. I think of us because I know what
listen,
classic
and
music came
listen,
from.
listen.
But you, the general public, think it came from white people.
Well, just like rock and roll, like that's. I mean,
Thank you. Rock and roll
that's
came
but
from
the
us.
point he's trying to
See me?
make is
No, he
that
was going to
culture and
say, "What do you
community is
think rock and roll think of, bro? That's black music, bro. What are you talking about? Rhythm and
not
blues, that's
anymore.
black music, bro. What are you talking about? Oh, you saying because white people took it and put their face on it?
I
That
didn't say
no, you don't even.
I never defined culture music to come from somebody. I never
You
said
just
that.
Yeah.
what
He's
was
not
your
saying the origin of where the music's coming
I
from. He
never
just saying
said that.
culture and
I said, what do
community
you think?
are
This is when I say culture, it is an embodiment of those people. That's an
like-minded
embodiment.
believers.
Like when you
right,
talk about
but to
language,
say
it's the
that
same thing. It's the same thing with language. Like language is an embodiment
you
of
guys
certain
don't
people,
get it.
whether it be
Like-minded
ebonics,
people.
whether it be
You guys don't get
ebonics,
it.
certain type of ebonics. Ebonics can be so broad, right? You think of ebonics, you think of ghetto black people, right? No, ebonics can be across the board. It can just like music can be across the board. Ebonics can be across the board. I had to learn that. I was like, yo, I thought ebonics was black people solely. No, there is in Hispanic culture ebonics
Yes.
in their language. In
Yeah,
Indian,
because Puerto Ricans, they say Mexicans say Puerto Ricans
in
don't. They
Puerto
cut off their
Ricans,
words.
it's
They
all
chop off
kind
their
of
words
ebonics,
all the time.
just like there is music across the board. Now, when you have an embodiment of a certain element, that is what is considered the overall culture of one's race, tradition, or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is, whatever they may think. Now you have to hone
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
Yes, we
Confusing.
have different beliefs, my guy. Yes,
I think you
yes,
confuse
it would
styles and the way people look at things,
there's
style and
billions of
preference
styles.
over culture.
There's billions of styles. There's
No,
billions of
no,
styles. Yes, there are.
right, but
There are billions of
hip hop.
styles.
Wait. Hip hop only has how many styles?
There's tons of different styles of
Oh,
music.
so
There's
It's still
wait.
within the
I
same
just
culture.
billions of styles.
Yeah,
wait.
their styles are still in the same culture. They're just subcultures. Just like you can have,
Look,
you can have
I
different
was
type of
listening on
jazz. You have
TikTok.
classical jazz, smooth jazz. Like it's still in the same culture. They're just
Look, I
subgroups.
was listening on TikTok of a white woman rapping,
Subs.
and
Okay, look.
I was like, I couldn't get with her rapping. I was like, yo, like the way she rapping, everybody be like, oh yeah, she dope. She's got 1 million followers. And every time she raps, I go and I listen to her every time just to see if she's gonna she goes, no. She's talking about her kids and stuff like that. She's just doing her thing. That guess what? Her culture is rap. Her rap culture comes from
That's a
only
style of
one
music.
origin.
How
It
she
comes
no,
from
that's the
only one
style of
place.
music. How she
Okay,
speaks would
rap
be her
comes
culture.
from one place, and one place only. Not white people, not Hispanic people, not Indian people. Rap comes
Oh
from where?
my God.
Black people.
No, it came from New York it came from Jamaica from a guy named
Black
DJ
people.
Kool Herc.
Don't tell me. I don't give a
Jamaica.
fuck with
He was Jamaican. Wait, stop. He was
black
Jamaican.
people.
DJ Kool Herc. Then it came out here, and then it started making the stars with
Black.
dancers but they weren't all black, bro. It
Go ahead
was
and water
one
it down.
black guy. No, it was one black guy that started it
What are
and
you
brought
trying
it to
to say to me?
America, and it
That
took
I'm not
wildfire.
saying.
Many
What are you saying to me that I'm not saying? What are you saying
you
to me that
said you said
I
black
think rap
people.
came from
No,
Don.
you said black people
When they
well,
was
that's
beating on that
in
drum and
the
it was like,
city.
oh, go, 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 go. That's when rap started.
No,
Curtis Blow is what you're on Curtis Blow.
no, bro.
You're a Curtis
Look,
Blow
DJ
cat.
Kool Herc. Look, Charlie Tuna, who's like literally from Jurassic 5, literally broke it down to me. He said, bro, DJ Kool Herc, and then African Bombada, the one made it known really in America. But DJ Kool Herc was the one that started hip hop, brought it to America. and that's what you got. They got movies on it about it. And what
Hip
I'm
hop
saying is,
started on the Amistad boat. Okay, when they was doing all them chanting and beating and stuff and beatboxing, that's when it started.
Oh,
It
no,
just
mother,
wasn't. We
hey,
just
man,
got raped because they didn't put it in the books.
who, no,
well,
mama,
all I'm saying
Exactly.
is,
who,
all I'm saying is when hip hop really
she put
start
the
being
right
named hip
kid.
hop.
Black people, culture, motherfucker. What the fuck do you want me to say to you, man?
Oh my
What
god!
do you want? What do you want?
Listen,
What do you want? Guess what? We wasn't on doing this. We wasn't on those boats doing.
nigga, we wasn't on the boat saying shit, but fucking crying and trying to get off the motherfucker. That's
No,
what
I get that. Shut the fuck up, man. Don't be
the fuck we was doing, motherfucker. Shit,
We was beating on drums before it came to America.
niggas was singing hymns, man. Y'all don't know about them hymns. My great grandmother used to send me down, tell me about all the fucking hymns in slavery that she used to fucking sing. They were singing hymns. There wasn't no fucking drums. They didn't have no fucking
Hymns
drums when they were in
is
slavery, nigga.
a
Nigga,
white
they were
word.
singing hymns all day, singing code
Hate it.
words so that the slave man wouldn't know what they were saying. So they made up all these big ass songs like "Let My Little Light Shine" and all of those songs, but they really had codes in them.
Said, "Let my
They were
little light
codes.
shine."
Yeah, they were
No,
coded
there's
songs.
a difference between
That's not
hymns
that's not
and
hip hop.
chant. No, we chanted. We black
Hip
people
hop
chanted.
talks about the culture that it comes from. In
Chanted.
America, hip hop talks about where it comes from.
Well,
Literally.
whoever created hip hop, I'm glad
So
because
that's
now
what
we
I'm
got a
saying.
whole bunch of black
It's like
millionaires.
if you wanna,
Right.
it's like if you keep putting, oh yeah, it's a black thing. Well, black people don't fucking purchase hip hop on the skyrocketing level like that.
That
We
don't
don't
matter.
support hip.
That doesn't
No,
matter.
oh my, no, listen. If you
Listen.
want to know who is telling the culture, right? They get their culture from the community that they're in and spit it to these white people, and they love it. They eat it up, and they buy more and more and more of it. So they
All right,
speak more and more and
At
more and
least
more.
you guys agree that culture and community are the same. Thank you.
Okay,
I don't.
I'll deflate that right now. I'm not dressing up like a white kid trying to be cool. They're
Oh
dressing
my
up
gosh,
like
what is
white
dressing up like a white
trying
kid?
to be cool. That's there's
What
a
is-
But that's
difference.
hip
You
hop.
just tell me. I don't care what they're buying. That's fine. That's marketing. That's economics. You're
Wait,
mixing
what is dressing up like a white kid mean though? Like, what is? How do we define
They look like
what a white
us.
kid is?
when I do dress up like a white boy, guess what?
They
Guess
look
what?
like us.
You guys
I'm
are
royal,
funny.
and I'm trying to be proper and this and that and blah blah blah. I'm trying to be from that culture. I'm trying to be from
I'm still trying to figure. I'm still trying to figure out what is dressing like a white kid look like. Is
I can
that
tell you,
mean loafers and a t-shirt? Like
cargo shorts and polos and a polo shirt with some polo fucking shoes. That's dressing like a.
so we wear polo or white. Okay, thank you. I just
Guess
need to
what?
know.
Guess what? I wear and I look good.
Hey, when the culture changed, when the community changed, the music would change. Remember that. Remember that. I let you know where we get our shit from.
I think when an artist is not scared to be different is when the culture will change.
The rhythmic application of words in the story started since the beginning of times, traced as far as back as before Egypt. Gang.
What's he talking about?
We was talking about
rhythm.
Right.
Oh, I told you it was back in Africa. I said Ghana though, but okay, Egypt,
right.
I'll take it, whatever.
Right. But
thank you, Lamont.
People, I don't want to hold you guys too long, but I got to get into the main topics, which I want to talk about these, beautiful, amazing Black women who are doing such great deals in the politician world. And yes, there are quite a few of them I do not agree with and their standards and what they stand for, but we got to give them the kudos. And so I just want to go down a list of them because I know sometimes they be like, man, Biz be like going ham on the women sometimes, blase. But I just look at it like, hey man, there's fuckery. Yeah, we can pay homage to the small few, but then again, we got a majority over here we need to handle. So anyway, people, I just want to play, let me see, get this cleared up for you guys. And
I love that Biz is unorthodox. I welcome the unorthodox, and a lot of people don't, because a lot of people they fear what they don't understand. And
Mm.
me, I am like so. I like when you see me, I'm like so like red line and straight line. You go, oh, this nigga, hey, this nigga outside the box. You don't like to think that it notices that way, but yeah, that's what I love about Biz. Like he brings the outsideness. And Cat, thank you for being so versatile with the conversation.
I'm
It's not
totally
easy having the
versatile.
uncomfortable conversation, but thank you for like bringing it in and giving your perspective and like showing the light of how your side of what your view can be in your opinion.
Yeah.
so this wonderful lady, of course, like I said, these are all the black women. I don't want to go too depth into their story. This will be an extra longer podcast, but we could just go by name, first name basis, first and last name basis, and just understand that this is what we're looking at. Of course, is you're looking at the black women of who are in politics and who are really doing a good job by getting to those and beating. What I mean, whether they touch their ego or not, but we will get to that later. London Breed. She's Stacey Abrams and
Which is
um
very
Erin
interesting.
Jean Pierre. Is that how you say that? Pierre, right? Pierre
Pierre,
Yes.
Jean Pierre.
Jean Pierre.
Yeah.
Annalisa
Yeah.
Presley.
Ayana.
She's cute.
Yes. Beautiful black women. Lauren Underwood.
Lauren Underwood, Marilyn J. Mosby. I don't know.
Unright.
Rihanna Gunn. I'm not too
Okay,
fan of
what's the story on these people? Like, what
I'm
is the
not too
story on this?
fan. Yeah, yeah, we go. I'm gonna break all that down. I'm not too much of a fan on AOC. I'm really not like
What?
yeah, anyway. But so just a couple words. Like she said, what is the story on them? Miss Rihanna Gunright is a Yale graduate, Rhodes Scholar, and former intern of Michelle Obama. Um, cool. That's awesome.
So why are
Uh,
we highlighting these 7 women? Like, what is the
I'm glad you said that
premise?
because these are the women that's in your political offices now. These are the women that are now growing in Congress, that are literally becoming on Supreme Court.
I would
They
assume
just
they're
had
Democrat.
another voted for another lady that was they had another one for another today. I didn't get to see it. I was little busy, but she was inducted into the Supreme Court. And I think she'll be like the fourth lady that's on Supreme Court, black lady. I believe she'll be on. Yeah, Condoleezza Rice. She's awesome, but she'll be the fourth lady that's on the panel of Supreme Court. Obviously, the first black woman. And
Okay.
I mean, I'm just taking it off of face value. What I mean, I think this is good. Really good. I've been, hearing these women a lot on
Taja
my
Brown.
TV. Um, home,
What's the question? What's the question for us though? Like, what's your
Taja
concern?
Brown.
huh?
Taja Brown is who you referencing to. Taja Brown.
Right. Exactly. And so I really like the fact that these women are, getting there. But how does this help our community?
Huh?
Yeah,
How does
what?
this help our community? How does this help us? How does this help our community? You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I just have a comment to make because you guys are probably gonna be shocked.
What?
I just don't think that any woman should be in like
Preach,
political
preach.
power. Like, not saying that women shouldn't have a voice, but I'm sorry. I'm totally against women. I don't want to say being in politics, but being in politics because I just think a woman should have her place and we're supposed to be led by men. And I'm sorry for the women who are online that are like probably hating me right now, but I'm just one of those women that I would rather my man speak for me because that's how it's supposed to go. We should be empowering our black men not putting women in power to make decisions that a man, particularly a black man, should be making for us. Um, I know you do. A lot of people probably do. Most of the women probably do. But for me,
What?
Saying, I just
just
don't.
disagree with a lot of men don't believe that women should be in power and stuff like that. And I'm not saying women shouldn't
I
be in
don't think
power,
so.
but when it comes to politics and making decisions, women, we're very emotional. We make emotional decisions.
I heard a
Now
great,
this,
I heard a great story said, I heard a great saying said, show me a civilization that's been ran by women. Oh wait.
I mean, we have powerful queens and stuff back in the day, but
British. What are you talking about?
yeah, the British. I mean, but here's the thing, though: she still had a man who she had to answer to, right? And so
She don't
I
have
just
to
feel like
answer
if,
to them. She
huh?
doesn't have to answer. No, she doesn't.
Well, not in that her situation, but her husband
What?
had much to say. Trust me,
You
her
said
husband had
Queen ain't got to answer to nobody?
Queen Elizabeth does not have to answer. Everybody bows
not
to the
anybody right now because he's dead. But before that, trust me, they were in their
No,
bedroom and he was checking
she
her. I'm
still has
pretty
to,
sure.
bro. She still has to sit
that is
down, and
yet to
there's
be confirmed.
men that run her shit.
Confirmed or
Yes,
denied.
prime minister runs
Yeah,
the
yeah,
That's
show.
I'm
why,
just
bro.
like this.
That
It is yet to be confirmed or denied
I was
between the
there.
two.
Okay, so you're saying you think that women should be in power, like period?
No, yes, absolutely. This is what
No,
I. This is my thing. This is my thing. In a relationship, I agree with you 100%. When it comes
in
to a
all
relationship,
I've
things,
been
in
in
all
one
things, men should
okay,
be
sure,
leaders.
and that's your opinion. When it comes to a relationship, I agree with you 100%. But when it comes to
empire.
speaking for overall women, I believe that there should be not majority, but one or two women that should speak for women in power with men in power. Most men are going to be in power in Congress or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
Now you can now if they did not have a woman in that particular party or in that seat, we would never ever have the perspective of a woman. We would
I,
just
Yeah,
we would
bullshit. We
close
got
the
the
door
perspective of our
to the
mama
yeah,
raising us.
we would close
I,
we would
I.
close the door
Here's
and
what
all
I would say. I
okay,
understand where you're going. I understand where you're going, but here's what I would say. I think that women, their voice should be a part of decision making. I don't think they should have the final say. I just think that's
how do
out
you
of
suggest
line. It's
how
out
do
of
you
line in every way, every relationship, every
okay fine.
institution, from
How do
church
you
on
suggest
down.
that?
Like it
How
just,
do you
mm-mm.
suggest a woman's voice being part of a political party? How do you
I
suggest
can tell you because
Why she even need to
you
be
can
there?
have a panel. You can say, hey, we're going to have a panel discussion and we're going to bring in 10 women from 10 different backgrounds to give us insight before we make a final decision. There's a way to do it where you still get the woman's voice, but men are still in the position they're supposed to be in. And I'm
okay,
not
so
saying that I'm saying we need to put the right men in place that know they're smart enough to take in the woman's consideration. Just like when a woman gets married, you should never get married to a man who does not value your opinion, who does not value you, and who does not take your opinion in consideration before he makes the final decision.
okay,
Right.
so
So
let
if
me
you
ask you a
have the
question.
right man, mhm,
So what you're saying is instead of a woman being in Congress or in power, that they should elect a man that holds their ideologies and their views to speak for them in the men in power. Is what you're saying.
I wouldn't say I would say to listen and have a voice there, but to say, oh, we want all the states to have women senators, we want a woman president, we want a woman pastor, and all this crazy stuff that's going
That's
on.
the
It's
deletion of
destroying
men.
it's destroying the fabric of how we were supposed to
I
be. We're
guess
supposed to
I
be you
guess I'm
guys'
still confused.
helpmate, not y'all's boss, right?
I
And
guess I'm
so
still
it just
confused.
messes up the whole dynamic, I think.
I guess I'm still confused. What are you proposing?
I'm proposing that we go back to the olden times where men brought home the food and we cooked it versus the women bringing back the food and the men cooking it. And that's
Okay,
what's happening in every area if we
right
start getting to the point where women are just running the show and men are just puppets. That's not
now.
how it's supposed to be.
And that's a beautiful analogy, and I would love to even go with that. My man self would like to go with it, but and don't take this offensive in any way. But I believe that you're delusional because we have moved past that. We have
We
moved past that as a society and as a whole in the earth, and especially
and
where we are. Now,
And look at our society. Look at our society.
and I get that, and I understand that. So
It's a
now,
mess.
because it has been so transformed in which way it has been, now we can. How do you expect us to be so just diverse? Everybody's so diverse to go back to man, woman. Hey, cook food. I go fucking. I make money. You stay home. Like
But
how do you
but
go
see,
back?
here's the thing.
That's
I
too.
get what you're saying, but you make it look like it's like
I don't
it's
make
a
it.
They had kings
no, no,
though.
no. I'm saying the way you're pushing it is like women can't stand that. And I would argue and say a good man would make a woman love to be in that position because he's a good man. He's a good leader. He's a good provider. So if he's doing all those things, why would I not want to kick up my feet and
Too
just
many
be like,
soft
okay, all I
men.
gotta do is cook a
There's
meal
too
and
many
I'm
soft
good?
men and too many hard women out there to even for my mind to keep that. Like with the amount of hard women and
Yeah.
the amount of soft men and the amount of alpha men like me and Biz and the amount of women like you, like I would agree with that. If don't put the refrigerator, I would be okay with that if everybody was on that same page. But looking at it, when I raise my daughters and I've raised them and they look at society nowadays and I go and they go, hey, this is the norm. We cannot go back to that. Sure, I would like to.
I
Cool,
pray that we do go back to that because
cool.
I think
The,
there's
the
more
only
there's
way
more
we would go back
stability.
to the only way we'll go back to that would be destruction.
Hey. So
Exactly.
notice, are you? Because I have a. Okay, are you okay with women in the workforce?
Absolutely.
Me?
No. I'm asking. Notice, are you
Yeah,
Oh,
okay with women in the workforce?
absolutely.
So by women joining the workforce, that would brought wages down because now they just, they can.
Yeah, because
You
we had
know,
to adhere to their pages. Yeah, I get that.
no,
That's
that means we were making less money.
no. Okay, cool for the Rudy pools that don't know how to fucking
Bro,
work.
hold on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like
No,
I
what
have
he's saying is when women came into the workforce, it leaves less money to go around. So now they have to lower salaries for men. Whereas
but they
if
got
you have
everybody got
five
to do
men
the
working
job.
that job versus having 10 people,
who
half a dozen
created
women,
that
they could
shit?
give you more money. Hmm?
Okay, we created that shit. When men had to go fight the wars, women had to stay
No, we
back and do the
didn't. Women,
jobs. Like you
no, we
guys are really
didn't.
saying to me right now.
I
No,
think
no,
that
bro,
the
slow down.
women's
Look,
They go
movement
women,
created that.
and go
The
fucking
women's
learn the
movement
jobs that we
created
were
that.
doing.
right?
Banking,
Stop, bro.
all that
Look,
shit,
look.
real estate,
Women,
all of this. Well, all every
no,
all
bro,
the guys
no,
that were missing out of war when
no.
dudes
That has
war,
shit to do
you
with
guys
women.
look.
No,
That's an
that don't
explanation
have
for
shit to
what
do
we're talking
with.
about.
That don't have shit to do with women
That's
joining the workforce,
everything to do with it.
bro.
Why women?
The women.
Why are women in the
Stop.
workforce? Why are women
Look,
in the
bro,
workforce? Answer that question.
bro.
Why are
Because they
women in the workforce?
wanted to,
Because we
bro.
wanted
No,
to be
they
empowered. We
have
didn't want to have
That's
to
the whole.
depend on you guys.
Oh my
bullshit.
god.
They are in the
No, that's
workforce.
true.
No, what
We
recent history? Recent history. They would they
I
we
do.
are history. We're
look.
living
They went
history.
into the workforce. They went to the workforce, and then it was like, oh, since being the workforce working for the motherfuckers that is over here, since our husbands are gone, now we feel obligated. Now we feel like we should do this. That's why it happened.
No,
It
that's
had
not.
No,
nothing to
that's
do.
not.
No,
No,
that's
that's
Yes,
not.
not,
it
bro.
Here's
is.
what I'm gonna tell you
Read
is
your
look,
history.
if you ask 10 women, right? 10 women, you say, hey, would you
Pearl
prefer to be
Harbor.
if
Pearl
you ask
Harbor.
10 women,
Pearl Harbor.
would you prefer to
The
be
women
with
got
a
paid.
man? And I'm just using black because this is our who we are, right?
They
A
got
black
paid.
man who is
Granny got paid.
wealthy, where you don't have to work, you can just stay home and raise your kids and help him wherever he needs help. Would you rather do that or do you want to work? 9 out of 10 women are going to say, if he can make enough and he can do everything, I'm staying home. No woman wants to be
Wants
out
to work.
there hustling, bustling, and raising children. They don't want to do it. We are forced to do
Yes.
it, right? Because of the lifestyle that people want to
Maybe
live.
2000, maybe three. You're right.
Hold up.
But
You said
2005,
2003.
No, hold on.
2005 and up, every woman wants to sit out there and get their own money. I have
No,
my
they
daughter.
don't.
I'll give you a perfect
No,
example.
no.
I'll give you a
No,
perfect
they
example.
Oh my
don't.
god,
I'll
you
give you a perfect
crazy.
example.
No, they
I'll
do
give you a
not.
perfect example. Just the new age. I have my daughter in which I provide everything, she still wants to go out there and get a job. I'm like, yo, I pay for everything, your phone, your basketball, your this, and you still want to get a job? Well, Dad, yeah, because I want to just get out there and get it for myself. That is the mind
That's
frame
what she's
of
getting
what
taught.
they are doing today. I didn't teach her that shit. I taught her to be
Well, society, her community is teaching her that.
And that's the hey, bro, check this out. That's just the part of growing up, bro. She's just growing up. She wants to experience more. She wants to get a
how
taste of
many
No,
like
but
damn
it's
bitch.
also
That's
the
part of growing up,
community.
man.
It's also the community she's around. Because if her dad was super duper wealthy and she saw her mom just going to nonprofit organizations and hanging around doing that, she's going to want to do and be what her mom is. So we are all a subject of our community and our culture. If we had all these Black men who were taking care of all our business and they said, babe, don't make any final decisions until I come home, and they ran their home like that, and the woman felt secure, like, oh my God, he's taking care of everything. I don't have to really stress and be worried about that. Their kids are going to be raised in that same way. Just like a kid can be. Look at this example. This example.
I would agree.
Stop.
No,
Like,
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
No.
But we're not there. That's an idea.
We can be there, but we can get there.
Yes,
if we start changing our mindset.
The fact that you said
the fact,
sure,
you're right.
But we can't jump the gun. We can't jump the gun. We can't go. Oh, we can't go from broke to I want to be living in a rich lifestyle to be like demanding this from a broke nigga.
No, here's how it starts. You tell your wife or your girlfriend, or the woman says, "Hey, we don't have to have 5 cars in order to, go along with the Joneses. We don't have to live in Torrance. We can go live in Inglewood or whatever." I don't know. I'm just saying, like, our mindset is not right. It's not about, oh, well, we can't make it. You don't have to be wealthy to make it. You have to say, okay, look, I'm going to lead in all things, right? And we're going to put this family and this community back in its rightful order. That's how you get peace and stop all this chaos. But when a woman is trying to be a man and she's doing a man's role, you're going to depower a man. You're going to, it's going to be messed up. And so men now aren't even empowered to run the household because the woman comes in and says, oh, I'm doing this, this, and this, and this, because that's what they saw their mom doing. That's what they saw their mom doing. But girls who were raised in homes where they saw their dad run the show and their mom was like passive or whatever, they're more likely to look for a man who is an alpha man, who's going to take care of stuff, because that's how they were raised. That's the community and culture they were in. And we got to get back to that. So that's why I'm like, politically, I don't think a woman should be running the show.
You're so right.
Check this out. To put a caveat on that is that I have that same lifestyle where my kids, my daughters, literally, I'm trying to like get them to expand their thinking on things, and they're like, "I'm comfortable, Dad. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's the lifestyle, guys. Wait. It's the lifestyle that these kids like. I don't my wife is not going around the house like, you know what I mean? I'm taking care of this, I'm taking care of that, blah 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 blah, do. Where they have to have that mentality to take on that, right? To where they can't depend on the guy, and that's why I came up with the conversation last time on one of our podcasts where I said, are women raised to be wives, or are they just raised to be co-parenting? You know what I mean?
That's it. Because here's the thing: when you start putting women in power on everything, what does that do to the fabric of how we are supposed to respect and reference men? There won't be any respect because women will take over and you'll have she's in office, okay? And you won't have the structure that we're supposed to have. That's why we have all this chaos. That's why we have all these kids running around doing whatever, because the mom and dad aren't in the home. The mom done kicked the dad out and told him, oh, you gone, we don't need you, because she's making more money, when it's not really about the money. It's about what your goals are for the home, what your positions are, not how much money you make, but what are your positions in the home. So, and that should go for politics. That should go for, everything that we do. It should be in a right order, but you have to have the right people with the right mindset and the right morals in those positions so that everyone's voice, everyone's culture is heard. And I say we should look at the character of a man and getting better character men than to be putting all these women in offices that will depower or devalue what the man's role is supposed to be in our society.
I agree with the limitation.
There's one more caveat, and I'm gonna let notice go. But one more caveat is that if you if you were to separate if you was to separate women from the workforce, that would bring more wages up, right? That would bring minimum wage
There'll
up,
be
and
more
that would have
demand. Yeah.
more men would have jobs. Like in LA, I put it like this: in LA, there was a
Well,
time
you
where
can't survive without women at this point because it's just not going to happen.
Too
it's not
far.
gonna happen. It's like you know what it is. It's to me, it's like Mexicanos in America, right? And they were like, oh no, if all the Mexicanos leave, you know, what I mean, that'll be. I don't think that'll be great. Why? Because it would put America in. It would paralyze America. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if the majority Latinos left, it would paralyze America. You know what I mean? Like we're not out there like this. You know what I mean? I think one of our comments was talking about slavery, but like we're not out there in those fields and those grapevines. That's you know what I mean. That's keeping those things. The wineries tight. We're not out there in those hard 9 to 5 intense labors. You know what I mean? And I think like having it like that, like what you just said, like if women did leave, it would cripple because they would have to find enough men to take on those extra jobs.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So, like at this point, it's kind of like you get what you get, but I think it's backfiring on women because you're starting to see a lot more women who are successful, right? But
Wait, it's not.
they're
What do you mean it's
unhappy,
backfiring? What do you mean it's backfiring? They're benefiting.
right? It's successful, but they're unhappy. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't say unhappy because that's subjective. I would say not satisfied with certain things, certain aspects of your life. But it is women are benefiting big time, and men are losing big time. So it's
Big
it's
time,
a
big time.
it's a lose-lose situation for
Right,
both. Because now
right.
you have all these women making 3 times more than a man, and she's looking at you like, "What I need you for? Besides, your little whatever 20 minutes you give
But
me."
she
And
want a
they're
man.
devaluing men, and men aren't happy either because now they're not the man of their home, and they just bouncing from woman to woman trying to find somebody who's going to be
Okay,
submissive enough, right, for
let's
him
slow
to
this.
now shine. It's a mess.
Okay, let's slow this down. All right. With women who are making 300K a year, right? And they're looking at a guy who's making, I don't know, 50K. A lot of them turn their heads, right? They just turn their heads. But let's look at the pool of men who are making 300K or better. And and ask them men, are they searching for another woman who's making 300K?
Mm, that's subjective because every man doesn't need a rich woman. Some men just want a woman who's at home and takes care of his kids, and other men want status chicks. It just depends on the type of man it is. I don't think either one's right or wrong. Everybody has their own, what they value and what they see is good for them.
Well,
But I do know that it's unbalanced, and we've got to get back to no matter
I,
what a man makes, we have to get back to the place where we say, this is the role I want this man to play in my life, and it shouldn't be a
well,
financial role.
right, but that's not answering it in the sense of that's not answering the question. Why? Because if you look at the general population and the not more men, but most men, or let's just say men who are making that amount of money, 300, 400,000 on a run of a scale, they're not searching for they don't necessarily want a woman that's making that much because her, what I mean, she's
They don't
gonna.
need her for that. Yeah.
Right. They don't really like, what I mean? And most women want a man at that level so they can find as what? A companion, a partnership, or whatever. And most men at that level are not looking for
Issues.
partnership. You get what I mean? And so if a woman is making 300K, she could do what she wants and like I don't need you, nigga. I can get the fuck on. Right.
Correct.
And that tends to show you why men don't go towards those women on a large scale. I'm not talking
Yeah, they may
exceptional.
be intimidated or whatever, or they don't think
I don't
they
think it's
can offer her.
intimidation.
I got.
I don't think it's intimidation.
I'll go ahead and break this all the way down. Okay, and I'll be real as fucking possible. For me, it boils down to you can go to biblical times or you can go to reality. There. That's just let's give it
It's
contrast.
been happening since time, man.
I don't give a fuck if it has been happening at the time.
It's happening in the Bible. It's
I
happening in
don't
real
care.
life.
I have researched all of it, especially what you was being given. Now, let's go to biblical. Biblical says a man would not be able to lead without the woman's support, and it's a woman. And if he is leading without a woman's support, then he is moving falsely. And I am paraphrasing it, right? So let's move on to realistic times. Realistic times have empowered women in such a way to where now women are in politics. Now are in such a way where biblical has been rewritten to the New Testament, which hasn't been written yet, but I believe it's coming. So this is my thing. When it comes down to it, it's the simplicity of human beings. Once we're able to agree, regardless of gender or sex or race, hold on, fine. Let me get my shit out. Once we're able to agree, regardless of sex, orientation, gender, or fucking whatever the case may be, that are we and agree that we are humans and we are able to collide and we able to be conducive and be able to understand each other on that standpoint, regardless of political, regardless of any race or gender it doesn't matter. We are in a standpoint. Yeah, you may laugh, you may not agree, but this is what I believe.
Because we're not.
Because we're too far. Yo, we're too far. We're too far.
To what? To what? What are we far to? What are we going to?
So let me give you an analogy. So you have a wave pool that is from no feet to all the way to whatever deep. Let's say the ocean, right? Deep. Now you're talking about from 0 feet to whatever deep.
I was talking about wealthy man getting
where I believe where we stand is in 12 feet or deeper. That's where we are. Now we could be too far.
Said 12 feet or deeper.
Yeah, we're too far. We're too far in the deep end to come
I have
back.
to say positive. I have to say positive and say we're not too deep.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But let me finish my thought. Yeah, sure. We can come back. Oh, there can be a life-saving boat or a lifeguard, whatever the case may be. The tide may reduce itself and we may come back and whatever the case may be. But as a society, as we stand now, we are 12 feet and deeper in our shit right now.
But you know what? All we can control is our community in which we are in, right? So the positive note is these conversations we're having right now, we all need to be having these conversations instead of going to cookouts and going to parties and just kicking it. Maybe we should all come together and say, hey, look, as Black men, how can we come together and make a vow to say, look, we need to take our communities back. We need to make sure that we are good husbands, right? And we are good fathers, and we start to make the changes that we need to make so that our women can trust us. And then women need to come together and say, hey, how can we be good helpmates to our men? We all have to come together and change that. Like, we can't change society, but we can change ourselves.
That's been going on. That's not something that has not been happening.
I don't think it has been happening. I don't think it has. I think most Black men and women have been tearing each other down for a long time instead of lifting each other up.
There's also been equal or not as equal counterparts that has been doing the same thing. That
We're
has
never
been
equal.
Raising nonprofit groups that's been trying to do what you're saying that they're just trying to do. What I'm saying is we are too far gone. Too far. When I look at my daughters, I look at society, and I look at everybody here, and I go like, whoa, and I taking biz, and I taking everybody around me. I look and it's just my people. I look at them and just look at the media, and I look at everything. I look at it like, sure, is there hope? There's always hope. There's always a chance. There's always a chance. But realistically,
I don't think I just say I love your passion. I just don't think it's too late. I'm always going to be hopeful.
I didn't say it was too late. I just said
I think we're only 4 feet deep.
No, but you did say if we go back, it would be destruction.
Yes.
What?
You believe that if we go back to how things are supposed to be, that it'll be accepted.
Absolutely. Know
I
why?
think if the
Because
Mormons can do
of
it
the
and all the
mind
people in
frame.
Utah can do it, we can do it.
Only because of the mind frame.
Yeah, but
Only
they don't have
because
TVs. They don't
no,
have cars. They're on horse buggies and they're just fine over there. They don't care
you're
what
right.
y'all watching on BET. They're like, hey, we got a good life over
Right.
here. We're raising these chickens. Their
And
women are covered. They ain't got their boobs and
have
areolas
you
hanging
been
out.
watching the
Their
social
kids aren't. You
have
ain't
you
hearing
guys not
them
watching
kids
TV?
murdering each
They're,
other.
look, they're corrupted just as much as our world is too. They got social media over there now. When they didn't have TV, now they got fucking cameras in the Amish. They got fucking cameras in the Mormon. They got people
Which
fucking
fuck
leaving.
they shit up. Which
All right.
which fuck they shit up. Which fuck they shit
Yeah,
up.
because
This
they
is
were doing
That
not.
fuck they
fine.
shit up.
What
So they
are
were
you
doing
saying? I'm
fine with
saying it's too far gone. I'm telling
All I
you.
can say is people who live simple lives, especially like in third world countries and little villages and stuff like that. When you go to other countries and you see these people in villages and they're just happy, they're content. It's like we are so trying to have all this material thing and be like people on TV instead of saying, hey, we need to make sure we keep our who's supposed to be in power and who's supposed to be the helpmates in line in all things,
I would love
in
that.
all things, not just in the house, but outside of the house, in the political
What you're
worlds.
saying,
And
I would love to come to
so
pass. I would love for you what you're saying to come to pass. The problem
what
is, it's
what
not realistic.
he's like, it ain't
It's
gonna
just
happen.
not. It's like you're trying to tell
so
me
so
go
we
outside and get.
right,
You're
right.
trying to
But
tell
I
me to
hear
go
you.
outside.
I
No,
hear
no,
you.
no, no, no.
Hey man,
Miss,
hey, man.
let me finish.
I've been
So you're
listening,
trying to tell
man.
me to go outside in my backyard and bring and get popcorn when it's not fucking there. It's not fucking there. I don't
Nevada,
have
that's
popcorn in my
Nevada
backyard.
though. You didn't
I
tell
would
me you
love
in
for
Nevada.
popcorn to be in my
Nevada
backyard.
don't got grass at all.
Huh?
Nevada don't got grass at all, nigga.
Yeah, let alone popcorn. Now, so like if she told me to go in your backyard and get popcorn, I would love for that to happen. Sure, I would love to go in my backyard and get popcorn right now.
But popcorn never grew in backyards. That's
Yeah,
not
so
like
that's not a good analogy.
It's an
Now, if you
analogy.
said, and if your backyard had dirt and you say, hey,
cotton.
go put some grass out there, that's
I
work, but
still
it can be
fucking
done.
can't do it. I've been trying to go grass for 3 years.
You ain't got
Go
the right
right
gas company, or you ain't got
now.
the
No,
right grass company because they can put seeds
he's
down there and
in
make grass grow.
Vegas. Vegas is too hot for grass. Vegas don't grow. It's the desert. Vegas don't grow no
I've been
grass.
trying to do my
So
rest in peace. My
It's
all
mom,
I'm
no
saying
grass in
is,
Vegas.
my mother saw grass grow in my backyard, and guess what? Bitch saw grass. Bitch, you was here when the grass was here. You like, oh, you got grass. I'm like, yeah.
so
Guess what? It's fucking dirt and rocks right now. It's hard as fuck
before
to keep up. That's what I'm saying. It's
before
that it was destructive. Man.
she has to go. She has to go. But before she go, I want to ask her a question. And this is dealing with equity versus equality. And it's do you think the women's basketball? I have women's basketball. You think that's equality or equity? You think that was done on equality or equity?
Both, absolutely both.
I think it was done on. Go ahead.
I absolutely think it's both, and I don't think anything's wrong with it. I don't think anything's wrong with women playing sports and women making money doing it. I played sports growing up, and there's nothing wrong with it. So I think it's both.
So,
I mean,
and
they're not. If you're talking about equality as far as like the men's sports, is that what you're saying?
I
Because
mean,
there's no comparison. I
that's
mean,
what I was trying to say. So there's no equality there. There's equity
well,
there, but there's
there's
no
equity there, but
equality.
I didn't know you meant equality as far as like compared to the men's sports, right? I thought you meant
Well,
equality
that's the
meaning
whole.
like being
Well,
fair
that's
and
my
letting
whole
women
thing.
be professionals.
Right. Well, that's my whole thing with like when women are in uproar and they're, you know, fighting for these different things and pushing for these different things, and mm, the men or these laws are like, well, let's just say in the sense of basketball. To me, I look at that as like, and I went to the Sparks game and they played a big team, right? And I'm like, this doesn't look like equality to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I mean,
And
but
look,
it's subjective to what you mean by equality. Are you saying equality meaning it's not on the same level as men's sports? Or are you saying
Oh,
quality? Hey, they
exactly,
need to be able to make money and play sports for
exactly,
themselves.
mama. Exactly. It's not on the same level.
They're never gonna make the same amount of money, nor should they. But
No.
should they be able to make money? Should they be able to use their gift?
So check.
Absolutely. Why not?
They
The
would
reason
get
why I
caught.
say
Never
the
make
reason why I
anybody.
say the reason why I say equity is because if they brought in more fans, like more fans showed up, like they do at NBA games, and that's what you have to look at, right? It makes me look at the people. Oh
Yeah.
shit, people are sexist
Yeah, well,
because
but no, it's not that. It's just that women won't support other women playing
no,
basketball because most women don't play
no.
basketball. Most women don't go to basketball games unless their dude takes them. Like I'm not going to be like, oh,
Oh,
I'm
wait,
going to
wait,
that
wait, wait,
Lakers
wait,
game
wait,
every
wait, wait,
Friday.
wait, wait,
No,
wait, wait. I got female friends that are I diehard fans, like literally with fucking Green Bay, diehard cheesehead fan, Green
no, I'm
Bay,
not saying we don't
and
like
wait,
sports.
her husband likes the Raiders. You know what I mean? He's in a whole nother team, and but she knows the stats, the fucking
I get it,
my,
but that's not the
what I'm
average woman. The
what
average woman's in
no
the
that
kitchen making hot dogs
do
and
you
stuff
understand?
for you guys.
Okay,
One
this is gonna
rule
be a
of
little out of content,
family tradition.
but
Yeah.
do you understand?
And you, when a
Okay,
man
that's
leaves his house, oh, Green Bay, everybody's Green
no,
Bay. Everybody go to
I'm
Green
no,
Bay
just
game.
saying the average woman, if I
no.
call up 10 of my friends, they're not going to know the
You
stats on
understand?
any teams. Like that's not the average woman. That we don't
No,
care
but
about the
we're
stats.
talking
We do care
right,
about
but
who,
women
the
in right, but if you understand, like women are literally showing up to these games in high numbers. They're not just showing up like just
because
with their
men
husband.
are there.
Yeah, because men are there.
That's right.
If niggas was certain, if guys were showing up to fucking NWA
My whole
games,
point.
then guess what? It'd
That's
be
my
the
point.
fucking.
If Michael
No,
Jordan and all the
no,
people in his age group was playing, no women would be there. They're like,
no.
why
That's
are
what
we
you
going to
said.
see
That's like
old
saying if
raggedy
more
men
dudes.
running up and down the
I
court?
No, no. That's like
guarantee
saying if
you.
more dudes showed up to clubs, more
No,
females would come.
I
No,
guarantee you. Hey,
no,
take the tops off.
no.
It was titties all out on WNBA court.
Are you?
Motherfucking niggas will be there. Every
Trust and
fucking
No,
believe. If there
bro.
was
Look,
more men
look.
at
No.
parties, girls would
Oh my
come because they would know, like, you know
god.
what, girl, it's
Oh
120
my god.
single
This is
men
so
at this
loud.
party. Girls will come.
If there was
No,
strip clubs
listen,
at the
listen,
NWA,
listen.
at the WNBA, excuse me, if there's strip clubs at the WNBA, when the WNBA would that happen, like if they were able to have just that like, that factor and like drinks and strip clubs and be like, yo, we're gonna, hey, you know what? No one's coming, so we're gonna put a strip club in where all the fucking bars is and the hot dogs
Nobody's
be.
gonna watch the game, bro.
I guarantee you that shit
Nobody's
will be
watching the game though.
crazy.
But they're not
But
watching
they're
the game.
there.
They're in the strip club. The
It'll
whole
be
point of no,
look,
that's
it'll be
not
a
no,
new
that's
thing. Watch my words.
no,
So some rich motherfucker watch this, he be like, that nigga know the show for something. Watch, he gonna
no.
be
They're
like,
not gonna
and
put a
he gonna
strip
put a
club
fucking
inside.
strip club in the fucking W. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And then it's gonna be
When
legalized,
nobody,
and then
they,
kids
they'll
won't
be
be
like,
able
when
to come.
nobody's watching the show because everybody's coming to see the strippers.
I
Kids
know, but
can't
what
come,
he's
and
trying to say is there has to be value, right? So
there's
there's
no, there's
value in a man going because the woman wants to be with her man. So if she knows her
Or rich
man
guy.
has season tickets, she's gonna be with him because she doesn't want him taking nobody else. That doesn't mean she's really into it. She's really into him,
So you
right?
said okay. So what you're saying is on a general scale. I'm thinking general. On a general
General.
scale, most women are not going to these games because they want to.
No, they'd rather be getting a
Oh my
massage
god!
or going shopping.
I'm
If
glad
my
I
okay,
did this.
listen, I'm gonna be honest
Glad
with
I
you. If
did
my
this.
man told me today, if my man came up to me and said, "Hey, I can get $5,000 for season tickets to the Lakers, or I can give you $5,000 so you can do whatever it is you want with it,"
Go
I'm
shopping.
taking my $5,000 and I'm gonna have me a new pair of Gucci
And I
shoes. I'm
guarantee
going
that's
on a
happened.
trip.
And
I'm
I guarantee that's
exactly.
happened. And I guarantee that's
I
happened.
guarantee, yeah, because those women aren't pressed about sports like that.
And that,
No.
and when she says that, I guarantee it's happened, but they took it away. Once they said, "Oh, I'd rather go shopping," no, you're not fucking go shopping. You go to the game. I need to show face. Boom, here you come. Come with me.
Yeah.
Boom. They took it away. Is that like they're not
I
going to give?
love
Yeah, they give them the option. Give them the
I
option.
personally love get rid of me money. That's cool with me. If you want to go hang out with your boys for the night, give me some get rid of me money. I'm gonna need a couple $100 and I'll go do whatever while y'all have y'all's 2 hours of playing Sega or whatever y'all do. Like women are not into it like that. I'm just giving an example. Like I don't know, but I'm just saying that's why there's more.
Xbox.
That's why there's more equity there, right? Because men love it and women want to be where their man is. That's just what it is.
You're fucking
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay. So, um, okay, you ready? So on the average, there's
Please, thoughts. I'm ready. Yes.
on the average, sports fans in the United States as the number of May 22 by gender. On the average, this is reported through Statistica.com. It's 45% women. On the men's side, it's 43%. So I'm just saying,
I didn't
there's
hear what you
40. Check this out, 42%, and we just talking casual fans. 45% of females were casual fans
Mm.
that are not fans. 42% are not fans. 45% who are fans are showing up verbatimly. The 42% is the one you're talking about showing up to with their husband.
50 and 50.
There's
Right.
there's 13% of women who are avid fans. 45% who are casual fans. So I'm just saying, and then you have men.
45, right?
No, it's 45, 42.
No, we'll just say 45, 45.
You can't say 45, 45. That's not the number.
Yes,
It was
it's
45, 42.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm rounded. Whatever. Okay, cool.
Because if you look like that's the majority. The majority are showing up to the game. That's what I'm saying. The majority rules. So if I'm looking at statistics and statistics says, oh well,
2%.
there's 3% more of women that's showing up to these games. Well, okay, cool. That lets me know more women are
That's
actual
not a majority, my guy. That's not a
That's not
majority.
the majority. And half of
What's
those
the-
people,
what's the
and the
majority of
42%, no, the
It's not a
42% that's
majority.
going, half of those people are going because their girlfriends are
Majority
going because they're meeting up
majority
with
is
dudes or
like
they're with their
5%.
No,
dudes.
you just said earlier. Y'all just said earlier it was they
No,
going
that's
because
a
of their man.
percentage. No, you
Yes.
have to
They're
understand
going
percentage.
with their
We
man
went,
or they're going to meet a
I
man.
just said casual fan.
Majority
45%
is you
is
can't
casual
count
fan.
majority as a smidgen. That's not majority. A smidgen is not a majority. A majority is majority of the population out of 100 people, right? Of 10 people, right? A majority would be 7 out of 10. Even would be 6 out of 10. But you
Or 8.
can't go 4 and 5. You can't do that. That's
And
not
those 4
majority.
and 5, you're not taking into consideration who they're going with.
Right. That's not majority.
That wasn't 4 and 5. That was more like
42 to 45?
like 6 and 7. I mean, I'm sorry, 6 and 4. That was more like 6 and 4. The majority rules, bro.
That's not the majority.
No, it is.
That was the
You need to go to
that
sleep. You
wasn't
need to take a
more
nap.
that wasn't
It's
more
nap
than
time for you.
42%.
It's nap time.
Are you serious?
It's nap
You
time.
guys, hold on. You mean to tell me if I have 42,
Go to sleep, Biz.
45%, wait. If I showed up with 45% of my fans and this person
I
showed
show
up
up with 42%, you're majority.
who's majority?
You're not majority.
I got more than you.
No,
Mm.
you have more than me. You're not majority. You have more
So
than
on
me.
the average, so on the average, just for people's sake, for on the average, so you
Majority
guys understand.
overrules.
Let's
Majority is
okay, let's
like,
cool. Let's set it satisfy. Okay, I guess, but let's satisfy the panel and say that they're 50-50, right?
No, it's not
There's
50.
50% of women that are not that don't want to show up to the games, but they show up with their husbands, or I guess whoever stated now is their girlfriends. And
Or
then
boyfriend.
okay, boyfriend or whatever. but then there's 50% of women that actually goes to the game, right? Just as amount of men that goes to the games in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
scale, and that number was 45.
Mm-mm.
Lord help
So I'm just saying,
I've never, none
whether
of my friends have ever got together and said, "Hey, you guys, let's go get tickets to the Lakers." We ain't doing it. We may double date and go. We may get our guy
right,
Christmas
but you don't
tickets
have
and go.
like right, but you're not into like if you would have that if you have those type of friends that are into
yeah,
sports,
like
like
I go
so
to
I'm
if you don't
telling you,
have those type
the
of
majority of
friends,
the girls aren't. Like,
but
I
when
play basketball and I
motherfucking
can't find one girl who's going to spend $300 on a ticket for that. They're going to go,
guarantee
girl,
but
I'll
when
spend $300 on a
motherfucking Laker
purse.
game is popping, when the
I
Laker game is popping, that
I
shit is
convince one of your
female
girls to come
central
with.
in downtown LA.
Hey, give me one of your homegirls and let me have some tickets. I'll be like, yo, what's up, man? I convince her
Yeah, they'll go.
regardless of my status quo. Like, y'all be like, yo, hey,
Yeah.
you wanna go? Hey, because the way I present it. But yeah, like the way
No
and
woman spending no $500 on a ticket to go to see Lakers.
No, but
Sorry.
that's not
yes, she's
right.
gonna
But when you right, but that's not right. It's 50-50. You can't even say that no more. You can't
Yeah,
say
I'm
no
saying it.
woman is doing that because
I didn't
that's
say
just
no
your
woman, but I'm saying out of 10 women, maybe one of them will do it. And it's usually because they're buying him a birthday gift or
hold on. What are
something.
you guys talking about? Like, you talking about the
I'll
ladies
line
paying
you up.
paying
Okay.
for the
We're
ticket,
just
or
giving an
like,
example.
are you guys
I'll
talking
line
about the
you up.
ladies paying for the
Wait, wait,
ticket, or just being presented
wait.
the ticket?
Because y'all must don't understand how like the sports industry has changed. The sports industry has changed so much. It has become like
No,
appealing
the after
to
parties have changed, not the actual game.
these games is like, like
They
these
lit.
things are like
They're fucking
they
lit. I
they
went to a
lit
Celtics basketball game. That shit was lit.
like it's lit, like it's lit,
Lit.
like these games are lit. It's female galore,
And
like it's
and
ridiculous.
the bad ones are there. The ones with the gooey, the Gucci,
I'm
the
telling you,
Louis,
it's ridiculous.
the ones that don't even got it. The ones that got the fake ones is still there. They are like they're
Hey,
sitting.
hey, hey! I tell you this: if I know they showing up to entertainment shows on a high number, I know they showing up to sports shows on a high number. Like entertainment shows, we're like literally like 60-40. 60%
Okay.
women, 40% men. And you like,
Y'all say
dang.
so.
You don't
I'm
think
saying,
females going out to entertainment shows?
no,
No, I didn't say entertainment shows. I'm talking about basketball games.
oh,
I'm
we
just
gotta
saying,
take you
well,
there.
I was just well, I'm sorry,
Hey,
I'm sorry,
hey,
I'm
between the
sorry, I'm
both of
sorry.
us, we gotta take
We
you there.
definitely go to concerts. We definitely hit up concerts because
Right,
that's
right. But
just
what I'm
what it is.
right. But what I was meaning in like, I mean like just sports period, right? Not just basketball games, because there's women go to different types of like I'm not just,
Yeah,
there's women
concerts
that
for
just
sure.
you
Yes.
know what I mean? So I definitely, I'm glad. I just wanted to ask because I feel like basketball, like the women's sports, are looked as equality. It's looked as equality, but when doing some research on it, it seems more of an equity thing. You know what I mean? Unless there's more sales come through, and we're higher to bill. Like you go to a basketball game, and that shit is just, it's just they got the normal same shit the normal same shit. They got
What
the
you mean?
the halftime show. They got them running out. They got DJs. They got the intercom going. Like it's the full show, right? When I went to
That
the women's
outline,
basketball game,
yeah.
it was the full. Like I went to Laker games, and I was like, oh, this is like going to. I've never been to a female basketball game, but when I went, I was like, oh, this is like the Laker game.
Just to
But
bust it, just to
it
bust down.
just right, right, and it's more like community run. There
Yeah.
was kids and like
Tickets given on the radio show for free.
right,
Yeah,
right. It
yeah.
seemed very like you know what I mean. Like this, I don't know.
Homebody,
I'm
homebody.
what I'm trying to say is I don't, and this is maybe my way of looking at men a little bad, but I don't think it's given the respect on put on a high level like men's sports is, and that's something that I was trying to get to, and because of that, it makes me look at it's an equity thing. Like you look at equality, right? LGBTIQ, that's equality, right? Because you see them everywhere. You can't even go around nowhere. They there, right? It's like they get the same. You know what I mean? I think Biden put out what you read it earlier. Noticed that it was like $900 for a transgender man or whatever the case may be. Like they're getting their equality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
So when
they get
and
busy.
when you read Trump's plan, I mean Biden's plan, he gives them that equality. Like it's ridiculous, but
And they
they
should
get
have that. They should have like they
hey,
shouldn't
to
feel
each
like
his
they
own,
can't live their life because they're what they decided to do in the bedroom. They're human too.
right? And to each
But
his own.
I get what you're saying.
It's just that I feel women basketball should be put at a higher level. That's all I'm
Come
saying.
on.
They should be given
I don't
the
think
higher.
anybody cares. No one cares.
I love,
I do. Them women were balling. See, like I
and I
can
care
literally look
because
at things.
my daughter balls. I
I
feel
can
like
literally look at things.
Hey, I play basketball. I really don't care. Like I just like, hey, as long as they can play and they make money, like that's all that matters. Like
the
But,
average.
check, oh,
The
see,
most,
this is what I
how
was
much
getting
is
to.
how much is
When
the
he
most?
said
How much is the most of a WNBA getting paid right now?
like
What
forty
is the most?
thousand, close to 140, to, like
Like 200,
yes, cheap.
like
I was about to
200.
say, they make more than 40,000.
They make 200,000. Guess how much they're making in Russia? Right. What the reason why Brittany Garner went to Russia? $1 million. It's 200,000 versus $1 million. So yeah, I understand. Like in
42, bro. They make 42,000. I remember looking this up because I was
no,
shocked.
I'll give you the max. I'm giving you the max. Brittany Garner. I'm giving you an example. Brittany Garner is a elite basketball player
He's the highest
from
paid.
US. She got paid 167, 165,000, something like that.
She's
If
the
I'm not mistaken.
highest paid.
One of the highest paid. Yes, one of the highest paid. And she went to Russia because her fucking contract would not exceed 200,000. So she went to fucking Russia to get paid $1 million a year. No brainer. I'll go to fucking Russia too. Fuck United States. I'll go to Russia. I'm a
Oh, that's why. And you know what? Is that the one that's still stuck out there?
yes,
So
yes.
that's
That's
why. So that's why
the
they
whole
ain't pushed
reason
it
I'm
back.
bringing this up.
But
Yes,
that's why.
this is why they won't bring her back because they think she's a superstar and they can trade her for a fucking war hero. Y'all,
For here.
But what I'm
that's what
saying
they.
is right. But I'm
That's
with
the
you because
rest
that's what I'm with you
That's
though
what
because that's why I think it's real fucked up that a person at that type of level that can play that type
let
of
it be
game,
LeBron James out there. Let
they
it be
would have got
LeBron
his ass
James out
back
there.
quick. Too
He'd have
much
been
money
back.
on the board.
He'd have
Too
been
much
back.
money. See,
He'd have
that's
been
what I'm
back.
telling you. It's not enough equity in her to bring her back. You get what I mean? Like if it was LeBron James or somebody crazy, too much
Kobe,
equity. Yeah, way
Michael,
too much equity there. You
Steph.
right? Yeah, I'm telling you. So
Name them.
and that's why I kind of brought up the black women in politician because I had went to the sports game in the WNBA and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, they winning on this side, but they're you know what I mean they're not winning on this side. You know what I mean?
I really didn't say that to say all that. I really said that to say this. I really said that. We
You
all,
gotta go though.
y'all, women is so much powerful that y'all, they still got a long way to go. We still are men are still in power. Like that's why Hillary wasn't president. That's why Kamala will never be
Well,
unless
you guys, I got to
hold up,
go. So
unless Biden dies.
Hold
And
on, hold
guess
on.
what?
Let's let it go. Let's
Unless
let it go.
Biden
Thank
dies,
you.
and guess what?
Let's
And God forbids anything
let's
happens after. What
before
I'm saying is I just know how the military works. I know they work in just like a crazy way. And they are not playing games. I watch every strategic move, and I've been watching every strategic move. I'm so paranoid. I am watching my TV fucking day. Like it's a problem and a fucking half with abortion, gun laws, and this, that, and the third. Like there's nobody business. There ain't nobody watching like I am. I can tell you like this. I love everybody.
turn the
I wish
line.
everybody, I wish everybody peace, love, and soul. But this is what I tell you. If we don't come together as
Thank
a
you, Miss
fuck,
Cat. We really appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
all right, well,
Bye bye. No, you're right though. If we don't what?
if we don't come
Your boy.
together as a race of humanity, and we don't come together as community people, then we won't last. And that's just the bottom line.
Hey, I just don't see how animals can have this cohesiveness to understand the level of masculinity and femininity, but humans, you know what I mean?
What do you
And I
mean,
don't
man?
think
That's all
I
the
and I
time.
don't,
That's all the
huh?
time in animal kingdom, isn't it not? And animals have a certain basic instinct of life, right? They can understand so much beyond human life. They can understand this much. Now, when it comes to that, like, yeah, they understand masculinity, they understand hormones, they understand certain things. Some of them don't
Like,
understand sexuality, but they understand certain things. Yeah, they
okay,
do.
so when did the lioness, even though there's more of them and one lion king, right? There's like he may have five lioness, right? And we
Yeah,
know these lioness take out hyenas.
yeah. They
So
go.
we know that they can take out old boy by himself. They big as him, they can take his ass out, right? They're not as big, but I mean, they got like five of them. He may have five of them, right? A lioness. Why don't they go against?
What do you
They've been
mean?
doing that for years and
They don't
years
go
and
against
years.
who?
Lioness don't battle with the lion. What I'm saying is,
Yes, they fucking do.
no.
That's a
When
false statement. That's
okay. You no
they
no
do.
no no no. See, you're not seeing me. You're not hearing. You gotta hear me. A lioness don't say I need more womanhood or I need more woman empowerment to the fucking lion.
There's
You
already women
haven't,
empowerment and this empowerment. So the
huh?
thing about it is, this is the thing about it is, when it comes to lionship, when it comes to Lion Kingdom, there is a king and there is lioness, right? There's a king that lays his seed and rules the kingdom, right? The
But you
lion
never.
does
All I'm saying
nothing,
is,
does
it's been
nothing,
happening for years, my nigga. That shit's been happening for years, and you've
right?
never seen it ever been
We're talking
reported.
about
Oh, the lionesses are rebelling against the
we're
the
talking about
lion.
a feline. We're talking about a feline fucking animal kingdom. Now, a
Right?
feline. Now,
She's never
listen to
fucked.
that
Wait,
word.
wait.
Listen
No,
to that word.
she's never.
Feline. It's a
She's a
cat.
female,
It's
female lion.
a fucking cat. It's a cat. We're talking about a cat, right? Talk about a cat in his element. A cat in his element as a male. And then we have the female. Okay. The females of the dominant species when it comes to a cat, they do what they do. Females, they attack. A
You said
male
what I said.
sits there.
You still didn't
No,
hear
no,
it.
no, no. Listen to it. The male sits there and he does nothing his entire life. That's a fucking head of the cat, whatever the fucking cat you
No,
got, cats. I don't care what you got. The fucking tribe of a cat, of a feline, does that. Now, you want to talk about a
no,
dog,
he
a
protects his
canine,
kingdom, bro.
canine,
No,
a wolf, or something like that? Then we're moving into a different spectrum. Okay,
no. My whole point. No,
okay, what would
my
you like?
whole point is the lion is the most feared, right?
No, they're
Most feared,
fucking not. Fuck a lion. Fuck a lion. Lion is not.
bro.
Which one do you take, a bear or a lion? Go ahead. And
I take a
a
bear.
bear or a lion?
I take a bear because the
Yes.
lion is.
So he's not just because he's the stipulation
That
is
means that
he's
means
gonna
no. You didn't hear me.
in the jungle. A
Listen,
bear, put a
listen.
bear in the jungle. Fuck everybody else, motherfucker.
No, bear. No, no. Listen, I would take on a bear because I probably feel like I have a more fighting chance. I
You're
wouldn't take on
fucking
the lion.
crazy.
I
No,
wouldn't take on the lion.
bear. You have a more of a chance with a bear than a lion.
There's tactics to get away from a bear. You know that, right?
No, you have more
There's tactics to
chances to get
wait.
away
Stop.
from
Stop.
a
Stop. Stop.
lion.
Have you stop? Have you heard of people actually like running bears away? You never heard of that?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of somebody running a lion away? Fuck no.
Yes.
You never heard it.
There's stories of a motherfucker killing a lion with a rock, my guy.
Yeah.
You're not, I'm not making
He had to, right. How what was his distance? What was his
You're not killing a bear with a rock.
what was his distance from killing that lion? Wasn't close. The lion too fucking fast and agile, bro.
I get
A
everything.
lion would rip a fucking bear in half, bro. He's too fucking fast.
No,
and too
it
agile.
would not. Oh my god! All right. So let me Google it. Just get
He's
the
too
Google.
fast and agile, and he's strong as shit. He's way just much as a bear, not too agile. No, it's not happening. Not happening. Bear's too slow for that. You got bear
Bear
got
would
two.
fight with a fight against the lion. Bears have the advantage in just about every aspect, from size to offensive capabilities. The only time the lion would win is if it managed to sneak up and ambush a bear, onto it and biting into its head with such a power that its goal. It has to sneak up on the fucking bear. The fucking bear has the advantage. I guarantee you. There's no way a fucking lion. I'm telling you, bro. The bear is fucking vicious.
I would fight against a fucking. I would fight against
No, you
people
would.
if they said, "Oh no, the bear is still." I would say lion still get him all day.
I go against a lion before I would a bear. And guess what?
I
And
take
this is
that.
why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. You cannot outrun a bear. A bear runs 20 miles per hour. It will run faster than you. Run faster than you. You
Oh,
can't
but
even
you cannot run a lion though, huh?
run the motherfucker. A human being runs the average of 15, maybe 13 miles per hour. You can't even outrun the fucking bear.
So and
There's been
but you
people on
cannot.
bikes. I've been seeing people on bikes, and the bear's right behind them on
So you
bikes, hauling ass.
but you
A
could
bike gives you 21 miles per hour at
but
max.
you can outrun a lion too, right?
Oh yeah. A lion gets tired. He gets lazy. Lazy. A lion is tired. He gets lazy.
You wouldn't have that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Reaction. You wouldn't have that much time. They too sneaky. They too sneaky. That's what I'm talking about. A lion would win all day.
Look, if
A
you
lion would win all day because you know
it's
he
like
wouldn't.
you're laying in your bunker or something like that, sure, the motherfucker would get you. You ain't got no chance. So your dagger's not next to you, your gun's not next to you. That motherfucker will eat you for
Hey,
sure. But
hey,
equally, let's put it equally. A
let's
lion
talk
you,
about. Hey,
there in front of you, and you got the fucking and a knife in front of you. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you,
like
knife in front of you with a lion, a knife in front of you with a bear, you're losing with a bear. A lion, you may have a chance. Bear, you do not. Have you not seen Revenant, my guy? Have you not seen Revenant?
no, I still don't. I still don't agree
Go see
because the
Revenant.
lion.
Go see
A
Revenant.
lion.
DiCaprio, my guy, and you will feel different. And that's exactly how a bear attack will happen to your motherfucking ass if you thought you could fuck with a bear. Just like he thought me and he survived. And I the Revenant, my guy. Go watch the Revenant. And I guarantee you would never feel like that. But a bear will fuck you up. A lion will do the same if you don't have no fight in you. But not like a bear would. A bear would toss salad your ass, no problem. And you can't, if he's in your distance, you can't run from a bear. You can't climb a tree. You
But
can't
for
even
people,
climb a
he's
tree.
not talking about. But people, y'all have to understand, he's not talking about right automatic. Like that's not. I mean, that's not first instinct. A bear's
Okay.
not going to do that first instinct.
You take your bear, and I'll be a lion.
A lion would. If a lion is hungry, oh yeah, he's coming to attack. You know what I
Teeth
mean?
like this. You're right. They got teeth like this. Sharp. Right. I get it. Here is blah blah blah. But the thing about a fucking lion is they're like any other dog or cat. You can maneuver. A bear is like this is. All right, sure. You go research.
If you're talking about,
I'll wait. I'm not going. I can't argue with that shit. Look, you go ahead. Go ahead. guarantee you this.
I've seen too many. I've seen like
Go ahead and
this
stand off a bear. I'm gonna run.
Hey, this California, motherfuckers is most like motherfuckers is afraid of bears, of course, but motherfuckers afraid of mountain lions. Check, motherfuckers afraid of mountain lions more than anything.
That's because they're more frequent. But mountain lions, you're right. I'm afraid of mountain lion. I'm afraid of all the motherfuckers.
Check this out. You know what happens? Check. The bears run away. What? Are you serious, bro? In the Simi Valley? Let me have, bro, in Simi Valley?
They do not run away all the time. No, they do not. You're talking about bears that are like, or that are used to domestic situations. No, not your wild bears. No, I have seen footage of a bear chasing a motherfucker for 2 miles.
See, that's the. See, you talking? Nah. See, we talking two different places, people. I'm talking. He's talking being in the wild. I'm talking. You would see a mountain lion walking through the city type shit, and people freaking out.
No,
you know what I mean?
Like, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You may seen one, but
you may. Motherfucker, you gotta come out here and see these fucking sides, nigga. We got sides all around up in
that's
the valley.
That's the 0.5% that you're talking about, my guy. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, it's prevalent. You can look on LA News. I'm pretty sure you pull up. Look, y'all pull up. I'll tell you the stations to pull up. Good Morning America, because you'll see it. They always play it. Good Morning America, ABC, KCAL 9, and CBS. You will always see it. Always see it. You will always see this shit. You will see it verbatimly. Mountain lions coming down, bears getting into trash cans and shit. Happens all the time. Motherfuckers shoot the mountain lion. We hear more mountain lions being shot than we hear bears being shot.
So mountain lions are stupid and bears are smart.
Oh, because the mountain lions are literally attacked. They don't have they're not like bears. Bears have some type of sense. Like, I'm not talking wild bears, but even wild bears do. Even wild bears have a sense. You know what I mean? Like, they know how to catch shit. You know what I mean? But they're not instinct. A fucking feline is instinct. That's the whole part I'm saying. Like,
call you a wildlife reserve tomorrow. Call them tomorrow and go.
I will. I'm gonna call them tomorrow.
Who's the worst?
All the bears out there, instinct. Like, if they saw me, they just attack me.
I guarantee you, my guy. I study. Look, I don't fuck around with animals because I walk around here and I just don't fuck around. That's why I carry my pistol every time I go out. I'm gonna tell you like this: I would not fuck with a bear. With a bear, I wish I had 2 clips because I'm gonna dump them. Look, fuck up, try to make it clap and make me feel bigger. I'm gonna dump everything I have into that bear. Period. Until we stop. That's hoping that he stops. Hoping this. Because it'll go into him.
I'm just worried about. See, a bear is so big and like you're right. You got a bear. Wait, check. Right, he's just so big, so he's an easy target. But a motherfucking lion is not an easy target like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
You're proving my point.
A lion is not an easy target.
Look, the bear
too agile.
Sorry,
people, we had an hour conversation about bears and lions.
A bear he raises the strength of 20 men. 20 men. Yeah. One bear, 20 men. Not a mountain lion, maybe 5. 20 men. There it is. They tell you to play dead. They tell you to play dead. They'll tell you to play dead with a fucking mountain lion. They tell you they run.
I'm more afraid of a fucking big ass lion or a mountain lion than I am afraid of a bear. Look at California's fucking logo. Go pull up the California fucking shit. We got a big ass bear that's in the middle of our shit. I'll let you know what's prevalent out there, motherfucker.
You ain't see no bears anytime soon. To the forest and then talk to me.
Are you serious?
Take your ass to the forest. Take your ass to Colorado or fucking North America and sit in that fucking city for 6 months.
You never heard of California bear?
Nigga, up north from where you are, yes, my guy, but you're not in the bear
up north.
city.
What is up north? What you mean up north?
bears coming out of Compton gang banging. Nigga, no, ain't no bear coming out there. Y'all got
Why?
city.
No, see, no. Now that's debunking.
Prejudice?
No, nobody's talking about Compton. I'm talking about California. Period. I'm talking about living in LA. Period. I've
What
been
part
in
of LA
fucking.
is
Listen,
bears coming to?
let me. Okay, I've been in
None of
West
them.
Hills. I've been in West Hills. I've been in Simi Valley. I
You are
performed all across this bitch, literally. And
over.
are you sick? You cannot tell me what I've seen with my own fucking eyes. You know what I mean?
You're telling me there's fucking bears in West Hills.
You been to West Hills? Have you been to West Hills?
No, what I'm asking you is
No,
you're
no, no.
telling
Listen,
me
let me
no.
tell you why.
There's
Let me tell you why.
there's bears in West Hills. You're telling me there's bears in West Hills, is what you're telling me.
It's, bro, West Hills is woody as fuck.
All those motherfuckers is
Woody
smoking
is.
fucking
Are you?
marijuana and fucking NBA
No,
at the
they're
same
not.
time.
No, West Hills is bro. So
Fuck
people, just so he
man.
don't conflate this
You're
fucking.
fucking crazy.
Hey,
Man,
just so he don't conflate this, people.
no.
Nigga, West Hills is not a fucking poor area. West Hills is a very, very multi-million-dollar homes.
I
These
don't give
homes are
a fuck
not
how rich
some.
it is. Ain't nobody.
So these ain't no fucking
Last
just
time you
average ass niggas.
California.
These niggas is very so they got like literally land around this motherfucker, and it's woody as fuck, and it's literally.
In Pasadena? How long
Oh,
ago?
definitely. Oh, what? Pasadena, definitely. Oh, you said he said there's no bears in California. They come down frequently.
Okay, so I guess in Pasadena. Near Pasadena.
Okay. But anyway, I guess he has to do research on that. You know what I mean? Bears. He's from California. I don't know how he don't know this shit. He's from California.
That's north, though. Isn't that not north? Not south, ever.
We're not talking like, oh yeah, they come down to it's too domestic down here. It's too drivey. It's too many cars. Of course they're not gonna come down this area. Of course not.
I gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out of here. All right, people. Sorry to have an hour conversation with y'all about bears and lions and tigers.
And bears, oh my.
But I'm not scared of lions and tigers. What's that song? By Jasmine Sullivan.
Lions, tigers, bears, oh my.
Thank y'all so much. The Gasmasktribe TV podcast. We felt out that bull. We are out of here, people. Thank you so much to our guest that was on with us, Miss Cat. Really appreciate you. And you know what I mean? Really love the conversation having with you. And cheers.